Eagles. Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to a Monday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports as we kick off a new week, as we kick off the start to the look ahead, as we preview now what will be the upcoming off season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Johnny Mack, how you doing on this Monday morning, brother?
Yeah, off season, finally here. Late to the party. That's what you want if you're obviously the Philadelphia Eagles. It creates some problems, but you'd rather be the last team standing and deal with those issues than the opposite. Some of these teams have been ready to go and raring to go for weeks and weeks and weeks because they stink. So, good problem to have, as they say. But yeah, behind the eight ball because everybody else has already started that off-season process.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Johnny Mack. John, we got a great show planned for you. I want to welcome and thank everybody for being here this morning. All the great people I met down on Friday at the parade. What a day it was. We have a tremendous city, a beautiful city, a lot of great people in this city. So if I met you, man, did I appreciate meeting you. I love all you guys. Thank you all so much for what a great day we had on Friday. And we'll recap that a little bit more. We got a great show planned. I want to welcome and thank everybody. Johnny Mack, John McMullen, the host of the Birds 365, the number one Eagles beat reporter in the country, right here on this show. Make sure you guys follow him at JF McMullen, and I'm your host, Zander Krause. Give me a follow on X at Real Zander, on Instagram at Zander Krause Show. So thank you guys all for checking in on here. Johnny Mack, one of the first things I want to do today, especially before we get Jeff Kerr, is I want to look at the offseason checklist. What things are the most pressing for the Philadelphia Eagles when you go into this offseason? Obviously, you got a couple free agents. You're going to have the NFL draft coming up. When you think about that question off the top of your head, where do you go in terms of an off-season checklist? Every team has a list of things they want to accomplish in the offseason. When you're a Super Bowl champion and you have one of the youngest rosters in the NFL, it looks a little different for the Eagles. But what do you think about when you think about off-season checklists for this team or off-season priority list as we go in there?
Well, I don't think anything is that desperate that you have to sort of block it off and say, well, we got to fix this. I mean, they are the Super Bowl champions. I think, to be honest, I was thinking about it over the weekend. I think, they're ahead of half of these teams in the NFL just by the way they do business. I really believe that. So, they're ahead of the game for the most part, ahead of the curve. They have been for a number of years, and that's why they've had this sustained, lengthy period of success. It's because of how they run their operation. But then from that standpoint, obviously, the part that is out of your hands is when you are the Super Bowl champions, when you make a big run in the playoffs, everybody naturally wants to break off a piece of that success. So you've already seen it with the coaching staff and Kellen Moore. That's number one. Now Kellen Moore's interviewing Doug Nussmeier. No surprise there to be offensive coordinator. I would expect to lose Doug Nussmeier as well. Those two have been together for years and years and years through Dallas and the Chargers, Philadelphia. And remember, Doug has a lot of, even without Kellen Moore, Doug has a lot of connections with the Saints. That's the team that drafted him way back when, in the mid-'90s when he was a player. He's a great quarterback at Idaho, by the way, for those who don't know. And was a backup there for a number of years. And his son plays at LSU, which is right down the road,
Right.
One of the best college quarterbacks in the country. He's going to return and for his second season as the starter at LSU. So, to me, it's too natural not to happen. But Christian Parker's getting an interview to be the defensive coordinator. That's a little bit of a worry because you can't block it with the Eagles. From everything I hear from around the league, Brandon Staley, though, is the leader, and I think he's ultimately going to get the job. So I think maybe the Eagles luck out in that instance. But you see, from Christian Parker's standpoint, he's 33, I think, 33 years old, very young coach. Just to get his name out there, to be in those coordinator searches, that's a guy who Unfortunately, you're probably going to lose at some point, but you are probably going to get another year out of it, at
33
least.
years old, Johnny Mac. That's
Yeah,
incredible, man.
yeah. Because Vic, I mean, you don't want to go away from Vic. Trust me on that. So, it's part of being a good team. People want to break off, as I said, a little bit of that success, and then the free agent, the big four, as I've called them, not going in order, but Zach Bond, Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, Mekhi Becton. Those are the guys who are probably, they'll probably, if they want to go to free agency, the new league year starts on March 12th, the tampering period March 10th, I believe. If they want to take it that far, they're going to get overpaid. That's what happens when you're on a good team and you perform in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Forget about it. You're getting overpaid. So, talk to a lot of guys. And then I throw in some others like Oren Burks, who I think is very important considering the Kobe Dean and his injury. Can you keep Oren Burks? Probably not after the way he played. Isaiah Rodgers, you still got a decision to make on Darius Slay. So a lot of things have to be worked out from a roster standpoint. But those are the most notable ones. And even Kenny Gainwell, who I think a lot, really good backup running back, is probably going to, want to play a little bit more.
Right.
Probably
He's gone, right?
I would think so. He'd get a bigger opportunity somewhere else. So big fan. By the way, Nick Sirianni loves Kenny Gainwell. Jalen Hurts loves Kenny Gainwell.
I have a video. I think it was you sent me from the locker room after the Super Bowl, Johnny Mac, with Howie Roseman giving Kenny Gainwell
he's a very popular player with the organization. So you never know. But I would think at his age, he would want more of an opportunity to play. And obviously with Saquon Barkley, that's not going to happen here. So, a lot of questions on the roster, certainly.
Good stuff there, Johnny Mac. John, you think about those 4 free agents, and we've talked about this before, but man, the discourse on all of them is building up across the across Eagle world. Who's the priority there? I mean, I've seen so many different takes on who the priority is going to be, and when you think about what Howie's philosophy has typically been with trenches and stuff like that, does that tip the scales at all? Is Milton Williams a 3rd-round draft pick of Howie? Is he going to be more of a priority than Bond? How do you see those 4 playing out? Is Mekhi Becton going to be a priority? If you think about Becton, I know we always say Jeff Stoutland can replace someone on the offensive line, but Mekhi Becton's 25 years old, John. You'd have Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, and Jordan Mailata for the foreseeable future, and you'd have 4 out of 5, pinned down on your offensive line if you got a deal done with Mekhi Becton. How do you see those 4 free agents playing out? How do you see Howie prioritizing each of them?
Well, I think it's interesting because when you talk about priority, it depends on people's definition. Like, I think Zach Bond is the number 1 priority for Howie Roseman. However, the guy who's getting the most money is Milton Williams. So, it depends on how people want to look at it. I think Howie understands coming off the season that Zach Bond had, he's got to keep him. So from that standpoint, I think that's the most important goal for him. And then, Milton is a player that very similar to Javon Hargrave, only even more so a little bit on steroids because he won the Super Bowl and he played well on the stage of the Super Bowl. He's at a position that NFL teams will pay significantly. Everything, the perfect storm of $20+ million. And I was talking to Milton at Clean Out Day. I've gotten pretty close to Milton over the years he's been here. This is a guy who probably could have signed an extension for $9-10 million a year. And He said, man, Fletcher's leaving. I got a chance to play. I'm going to bet on myself. And he just he won.
Yeah,
He won.
he's look. You can tell as a player he put the work in because he really performs now.
Yeah, well, he was always a solid player, but I think people didn't recognize it because there wasn't a ton of playing time.
Yeah. Taking that jump though, John, is not easy. Not everybody's able to make that jump.
No.
Even, look at Bryce Huff. I mean, not to criticize him, but not everybody's capable of going into a bigger
No,
role.
you got to do it. And there's a lot of things you could get hurt. There's a lot. This is a very violent sport. And the Eagles have, and that's been one of the secrets to their success is extending guys early, getting them to take less money, even though at the time it might not seem like less money, and I'm probably lowballing him. The Eagles probably would have went to 14, 15, something like that. But even so, to bet on himself and hit the home run that he did, he's going to make well over $20 million per year average annual value.
That's a big number for Milton. Yeah. Man. It's a big number.
And you have to think about it. Remember, Howie always talks about, he thinks about this team in 3-year increments. So, you got to think about paying Jalen Carter down the road. He's gonna set the market for defensive tackles. So whomever is number one at the time, Jalen Carter is up, he's passing him. As long as he doesn't get hurt and all the usual.
What's that number going to be when that comes? 30 million plus?
Exactly. That's what you're talking about. So can you account for that much money for two at the same position? Well, they did it a receiver, so it's not impossible. Nobody manipulates the salary cap better than the Eagles. So you never say never, but it's going to be tough to keep Milton Williams.
Yeah, and you also have Jordan Davis, as people point out in the chat, him coming up on an extension. So we'll see what they end up doing there. A lot of interesting discussions there, John. How do you see the Mekhi Becton part with a 25-year-old guy who seems to love the city of Philadelphia, seems to love playing here, seems to love Jeff Stoutland. What's he going to make?
And I'll add, seems to love playing guard. I asked him flat out, does he consider – excuse me, does he consider himself a guard or a tackle now? Because he obviously was the 11th pick in the draft to be a left tackle, looks like a left tackle. That's what everyone wanted him to be and thought he'd be. And you get paid more money if you're a left tackle than if you're a right guard, as he's playing with the Eagles. And he said he'd rather play basically guard. Said it's easier for him. You're out there on an island like Lane and Jordan. And he really liked playing inside. So I think that helps. You mentioned he came here to work with Jeff Stoutland and worked out beyond anyone's expectations. That you got that part of it. He's become very close, as most of the offensive linemen are on this team, and they've embraced him. You've seen the emotion he's shown, not only after the Super Bowl, but when they clinched the NFC East, he was welling up on the sidelines. Because he'd always been part of that. Talk about crappy organizations. Let's be honest. He was part of the Jets, and you're not used to things like that. So it all hit him very hard. He's made some money because he was a first-round pick. So he's not, like Milton as a third-round pick. This is his first time. He's been the
highly coveted guy already.
Yeah. So all of that works in the Eagles, plus his knee injury. Now, that's a give and take. He doesn't like talking about it. He fought through it all season. Is that a degenerative condition? I don't know. Only the Eagles doctors and the Jets doctors would know that, but that might hold his price down.
Where do you see his price, John? 10 to 15? Somewhere in there?
I couldn't. That's my whole point. I can't pinpoint because of the injury. Like how many people? Like, do you see him as a tackle? Do you want him as a tackle? Do you want him as a guard? He is the toughest one to gauge from a money standpoint. And if it gets up to the 15-20 range, I don't see how the Eagles keep him.
I don't
think
it's going to get that high.
If it stays in the 8 to 10, 12 range, they could probably find a way. And for those, I know a lot of people say, well, you got Tyler Steen. Tyler Steen ate Mekhi Becton, man. When it comes to the running part of it, the historic running part of it, and the Saquon's season,
right?
When it comes to the offensive line, the real difference, we all know Lane and Jordan are great, and Landon is great, and Cam Jurgens is a really good player. But when it came just to the pure physicality, Mekhi Becton's the one who put it over the top.
Yeah, he's a bully. Yeah,
he is a monster. And so many, you can go back and watch the highlights of Saquon's long runs. So many of them are Mekhi Becton just pancaking somebody.
Give me 4 years, $50 million for Mekhi Becton.
Well, that's the thing about Mekhi. Because of the knee, you might not even have to go 4 years. It might be less than that. Because people might be cautious to go that high. He's really tough to pin down. But if I could, I'd run it back with him as long as I can. As long as I can.
I agree with you. What do you think Zach Baughn's going to get here in free agency? Because that's a number that I've seen all over the map. I mean, I've seen 20 million. I've seen as low as 8 to 10 million still for a 1 year.
No way 8 to 10.
No way 8 to 10. I mean, Spot Track, I don't really put much stock in that, but they have them, I think, at 11 or 12 market value. What do you see for Zach Baughan?
More than that.
I think it's 15. Is it 15, the sweet spot?
I think it might be. The thing about Zach is our people, he's still very young.
Yeah, who's the dumb team that's going to push it up to 20 million?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the top paid linebackers, is he going to get as much as Fred Warner? Is he going to get as much as Roquan Smith? Probably not, because he's only done it for 1 year. So I think Roquan is right at 25 years, 100 million.
Right.
And then Warner's underneath that 5 years, 95 or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Twiz just put it in the chat. Roquan's 20 years, 100 or 20 million a year, 5 years, 100. Fred Warner is 19 mil, 5 years, 95.2 million.
Yeah, I think he lands below them, but above Tremaine Edmonds, who is next.
So 18.5 you're looking at.
That to me is where he should be. I mean, that dude was, oh man.
He was incredible.
He was a playmaking machine from week 1 through the Super Bowl. It never let up.
It never let up. I remember our post-game show after week 1, John. And you're like, I'm going to go ahead and say he's not going to be able to duplicate this all year. And every single one of us, including everybody in the chat, agreed with you. Where, I mean, how is this guy?
Who could predict Zach Baughan? Who could predict Zach?
Nah, nobody predicted Zach Baughan. Nobody.
I mean, he was the best linebacker in football. The best linebacker in football. I mean, Vic's back. What changes? He's super athletic. He's super smart. He knows the defense now, backwards and forward. I mean, he's going to get a lot of money. Hopefully Howie can get him to come in at 15, 16. Because, he understands the other side of it. He played 4 years. Nobody gave him a chance. He didn't even know what he was. I shouldn't. I mean, Vic told us the story. He in training camp, he was like, when am I going to get the rush to passer? Like, he wanted to be an edge rusher.
Right. That's probably what he thought he was here for.
Yeah. And Vic's like, don't worry about it.
Pretty incredible stuff there. Johnny Mac, good stuff. We're going to get to my man, Jeff Kerr, coming up here on Birds 365. I do want to get to one chat. Alexander Harris says, all I'm saying is Quinyon was definitely sauced at the parade. Yes, he was. Johnny Mac, what were your takeaways from the parade, brother?
Well, I think Nolan was the most sauced.
Dude, Nolan, John, he came
right. He stole a baby.
He came right in. That was right in front of us. I was working the camera, right in front of us, and Nolan picks up the baby right in front of us. It was unbelievable.
Did he just forget he had the baby?
I don't know, man. And then you can see the video. We posted up the video last night of I don't know what they did. They must have had like a buddy system. I don't know who the other guy was with him. That was with Nolan Smith, and he was wearing like a Just Win Baby shirt, but it didn't look like a player. And he was the guy who was kind of like watching Nolan everywhere he went. And to get the baby off his shoulders, he's handing him a bottle of champagne. Like, here, you give me the baby, I'll give you the bottle of champagne. We
had a real life hostage situation.
Yeah, we posted it up on JAKIB Sports. It was hilarious. But now Howie gets hit with a beer, a couple great speeches from the players. It was a cool day down in the city for those who were down there.
Yeah, but tone down with the beers, man. I joked about that.
Yeah, I
can't be hurling full beers at the GM's head.
Yeah, that's insane. But no, yeah, crazy day. But it was a good day, man. For those down in Philly, by the way, I want to thank a couple people real quick before we get to Jeff Kerr. I want to thank my man Joe Whipp. Joe Whipp, I'm not sure if you're in the chat right now or if you're listening, but I can't thank you enough, Johnny Mac. Joe's one of our great supporters here on JAKIB Sports, and he was down there, John, at I want to say 6:30 in the morning. We were down there at 5. Joe Whipp shows up, and he went right to work. He started helping us set up. Helping Jerry, who was the owner of the truck, the flatbed truck that we broadcasted from. So, Joe, thank you so much, my man. That was really cool of you, Joe. Thank you. I see you in the chat, man. Appreciate you very much. Flexing and Stepping, another one of our great members who was down there all day with us. Thank you so much, Flex. Akbar helped us broke down our whole setup at the end. So, big thanks to Akbar and all of the great people that I met. Callie Baby was in there. Mike Berghorst was in there. Arthur Humler. I'm not going to remember everybody's name off the top of my head right now, but Slagger, you're the one guy I didn't talk to, but I saw you in the crowd. I'm sorry I didn't talk to you, brother, but I can't thank all you guys enough. It was really cool, John. We have a lot of great people that listen to our program, man, and it was great meeting some of them down there at the parade. Yeah,
and that day was for the fans, and that's what it was about. And, it's not and I mentioned to everybody on Fridays, it's not a day for the beat reporters. I thought, we don't get media access, so it's not really for us, but it is for the fans to celebrate, and what is a heck of an accomplishment. So glad everybody enjoyed it. Glad everybody stayed safe for the most part. Couple incidents, but nothing too terrible except for maybe the stolen baby. I'm joking, Nolan. The real life hostage situation. But yeah,
John, I'm not sure if you caught any of our coverage, man. We were smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, well,
broad next to City Hall.
Yeah, I was doing the show with you in the morning. We couldn't link up with you.
I know, and then I got to figure it out after our Birds 365 where it didn't work out. But
yeah, it was.
People were saying, "How the hell did you get this spot?" It was amazing. There's Mike Berghorst. Mike, great meeting you, my man. I appreciate it. But yeah, it was a great day, man. It was a really awesome day. Let me give you guys a quick live read, and then we're going to get to Jeff Kerr. All right, joining us here from CBS Sports. We love Jeff Kerr, and we'll bring him up in just a second. Let me tell you guys about the great people at BetUS. I've been telling you about them all year long, and they're going to stick with us here all through the offseason. So baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it, whatever it is you want to bet on outside of football. I know yesterday was tough, everybody. I watched the Daytona 500. Shout out to our guy.
Jeff Kerr, I was watching that.
Yeah, I'm sure he was watching that. Jeff Kerr, you'll be interested to know. One of our great members and supporters here on JAKIB has an awesome job in NASCAR, and he works videography. So he's up close and personal. He sent me some awesome behind-the-scenes footage from the Daytona 500. Thanks to Dirty Air for that. But that's what I was watching yesterday. We had a nice big family dinner for the first time since the season ended, so that was good. But go check out BetUS, everybody. You can see you're going to be able to bet on all those other things all throughout the year. The promo code is still YouTube150. Gives you 150% sign-up bonus on your very first deposit, and you get 125% on your second and third deposit, all up to $2,000. So deposit less and bet with more at BetUS. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. And a big thanks to them for sponsoring the show today. Let's go to our man, Jeff Kerr, joining us now on Birds 365. Jeff, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing on this Monday morning?
Pretty good. It felt weird, no Sunday without football, but like I tweeted yesterday, guys, it's bittersweet because the end of football means the start of NASCAR season. So I was all revved up.
There you go.
You see Chris Long's tweet where he's making fun of content creators who said, "What am I going to do without football?" And he said, "Figure it out." It's pretty funny, but anyway, I'm like the off season. What do you mean you got nothing to talk? I always say there's more to talk about in the off season than the regular season. I think the off season is tougher for me work wise. I really believe that. Because there's so much in this league you got to keep on top of. I don't know what anybody's talking about. It never ends with this league.
It doesn't. Like, so I'm doing my free agency primer and listing every free agent for every team this week and their salary cap situation. And a lot of fans have said to me over the years, like, we love how you do this because they feel like it's their way of keeping up, at least with who's a free agent. Because outside of your guys, you really don't know who's available or who's going to be available. Like, look during right after Super Bowl, for example, the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Not that it came out of left field. It was kind of expected, but you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. They haven't played in 2 months. It's kind of, a lot of these teams are just like, oh, yeah, that's right. They exist.
Yeah. And you're behind the 8 ball when it comes. That's one of the problems and why it is so difficult from going back to back. And what Kansas City did was so impressive. What New England did back in the day is so impressive. What the Eagles are doing now is so impressive. If you talk about their run really is a good organization. When you go deep in the playoffs, you're behind the 8 ball. You're behind everybody who's already, you got GMs and coaches at the Senior Bowl, all the All-Star games. The Eagles are worried about winning the Super Bowl. And the Eagles obviously send staff, and Howie made it very clear he's always thinking about the off season. He's always thinking about the future as well. But it's not as easy when you win. But you'd rather win and be in that position than be one of these other teams who are making plans over a 2-month span because you got nothing else to do.
It's crazy, right? So the Senior Bowl happened, I think it was the last weekend in January. Was it conference championship game weekend, John?
Yes, I believe so.
And I was just like, maybe it's because we're in the midst of all this, but I was like, I just don't care.
Yeah. Well, you can't care. You don't have time to care until after it's over. We don't have a 30-person staff like Howie. But the Senior Bowl was February 1st, so that would have been Pro Bowl weekend, I guess. Whatever.
Pro Bowl weekend, another All-Star game that needs to go away.
That's true. Well, they all did. Anybody watch the NBA All-Star game? I did not.
No.
When I tried to turn it on, and Vogue was singing, and I was like, okay, so are they actually going to play basketball, or what are we doing here?
I'm not watching no damn NBA All-Star game.
I'll take that. They made some kind of change, I guess, that everybody was upset about. But who knows? All these All-Star games should go away. Every single one of them. Even baseball. People seem to like baseball. I don't give a shit about baseball.
You know why I think people care about the baseball one? Because you can't fake it in baseball. You know what I mean? It's like you're not going to
you can throw a batting practice fastball, let somebody hit a home run.
But no one does that, though. I think there's too much competitiveness in there.
They've done it. They've done it in the past. But it's fine. I mean, I always tell the story. When I was a kid, I loved All-Star games. I loved them. And as I got older, as people call me a curmudgeon, which is fine. I'm a curmudgeon. I got older and I said, boy, I can't stand All-Star games. What the hell happened? It's just, and I just figured out, no, it's natural. Kids, All-Star games are for kids. That's what
I loved them as a kid. Every single one. I don't know
if kids enjoy them anymore. They're so damn boring. I don't like them at all, but I hear you.
Well, you see the famous players and the cool uniform playing together.
And they're all hanging out, I guess. I guess that part of it is a spectacle.
But I think so, too. Like, at least when I was a kid, not every game was on television, right? It's, local sports channels were starting to become a thing in the 90s. And outside of the Sixers, you saw the Bulls and on NBC. You might have saw Kobe and Shaq a little bit on NBC, but that was really the only time I got to watch Kobe outside of the games on TBS and TNT were the All-Star game. And I like seeing Kobe go against Iverson and Kobe go against this guy.
The best piece of sports on this weekend was that hockey Four Nations game.
Oh, that
USA
was
versus
awesome.
Canada. That was now, I'm a hockey guy, so I love that. But that was an unbelievable game. I would like to think anybody would have enjoyed that game.
Yeah, see, I think you need to do U.S. versus like international or something. Get these guys. I mean, LeBron will still ditch it because he don't like to lose. So the only way to not lose is to not care or not play. So that's the LeBron James culture these days. But I digress.
All right, Jeff, here we go. 10 days away, brother, from the NFL Combine. We've talked a lot about the free agents, but I'm going to put them on the shelf just for a second. All right. And I know they'll dictate, they will partially dictate what you do in the NFL draft. But with the Combine coming up, what's your early indication on where the Eagles will at least lean with this draft? I know that might be a tough one to answer, but 10 days out from the Combine, who's Howie looking at?
I think he's looking at a pass rusher again. I think they're going to look at whether Josh Sweat or Milton Williams leave, or if they can keep one, great. If they lose both, I think they'll look to replenish there. You still got Nolan Smith, still got Jalen Carr, you still got Jordan Davis, but you have to think toward your future there. So I think, and we saw how important their defensive line was to their Super Bowl championship. So I think they look for a guy maybe in the back half of the first round, or maybe they trade down and get some more picks there because they've hit on a lot of second-round picks in recent. I think pass rush is the priority right now.
I agree.
You're not getting your guy Abdul Carter. I'll tell you that.
Abdul Carter might go number one. That's how crazy.
When you're picking 32nd, so then it starts to talk about Myles Garrett. We'll see where that goes. If the Eagles can swing something off like that, that would take a tremendous amount of money. It would take tremendous amount of assets as far as draft picks, potential players as well. But that'd be a way to fix the pass rush. Not that the pass rush needs fixing. What's the best pass rush in the history of the world on the Super Bowl? Never blitzed. Patrick Mahomes never got comfortable. I hope that's a lesson for people about sacks. Josh Sweat doesn't have big sack numbers. Jalen Carter doesn't have big sack numbers. Milton Williams didn't have big sack numbers, but they were all getting consistent pressure.
John, here's a trivia question for you. Who led the Eagles in pressures this year?
My guess would be Josh Sweat.
You're close.
Nolan?
That was Milton.
Wow,
Milton. Yeah, Milton.
Which I guess
Milton had a hell of a season.
Jalen's getting doubled every time he's out there, basically. Yeah. So that helps Milton obviously get the one-on-ones and take advantage.
Yeah, I mean, look, Milton had a tremendous year. You and I said this on Thursday, John, after we talked to Milton. Like, I'd pay him $20 million a year.
Oh, he's getting 20. And there's no doubt to me he's getting 20 plus. Only how high can he go? Lynn McNeil got 24, I think. Probably a little bit under that, but not much.
Don't you guys think it's funny with the whole Howie Roseman, Tom Donahoe thing, and they were both right about the guy they wanted?
I know. It's just what type of player you wanted, really.
Right.
Yeah, both really good players, but for the Eagles to keep Milton Williams, and they should want to keep him, they're going to have to pay. He bet on himself and he won. Josh
Sweat bet on himself and he won too.
That's true. We'll see how much Drew Rosenhaus can get Josh Sweat.
I think he's going to get a lot. I think Sweat's going to be 18 to 20 million.
So the big four, and that's what I'm labeling Zach Ball, Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, Mekhi Becton. How many can the Eagles keep?
I think it's a good offseason if they keep two. I do think Becton stays. I think he finds a way to stay and be the right guard. Then it's a matter of which one do you want to pick. I mean, if they got Milton Williams and Mekhi Becton, I'm not complaining. If they want to keep Zach Ball and Mekhi Becton, but I think Mekhi Becton is going to be one of them.
If they lose Zach Ball, what kind of outrage there is in this city?
I think there's a lot, because I think it comes back to the whole how he doesn't pay linebackers. And what I worry is Nakobe Dean's going to be fine in the long run, but short term, coming off that Achilles injury, he told me he's going to be ready opening day. He'll make sure he's 100%, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time. And can you trust Jeremiah Trotter? Or remember, Oren Burks is a free agent too.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee he's back.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to keep Oren. Man, he played well down there. I didn't see so many stories on this team. Like, I was talking to McManus. We're like, boy, Andy's going to put Oren Burks in a blender. That's what he did in the last Super Bowl.
Yep.
And Oren Burks he was unbelievable.
Oren Burks said Thursday he learned a lot from that last Super Bowl and what Kansas City did and their tendencies, and maybe he relayed some of that information to a lot of those guys. I mean, Oren Burks is a quiet leader in that locker room.
Yeah, he is. He is. Going to be very tough to keep. I think that's the kind of, he's been that 1 year guy who's, you bring him in to be a backup linebacker, special teams player. But when you play at that level in the Super Bowl, you're telling me somebody's not going to give him 2 years?
I would give him 2 years. I would give him 3 years.
Yeah, and I don't think the Eagles can keep him, but him and Kenny Gainwell as well. Like, how do you keep Kenny Gainwell? Everybody loves Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah,
Jalen loves him. Nick loves him, but how do you keep him?
I don't think you do. I think you're going to draft another running back later in this draft, and that's one of Saquon's backups.
Well, you got Will Shipley as well to step in. So that's the part you have to look at. Like, at least if you lose Mekhi Becton, you have Tyler Steen. If you lose Zach Bond and you lose Zorn Burks, that's you're right back where you started.
Well, John, you were there when Malata took the phone from me on Thursday. Howie, please keep Mekhi.
Yeah, that's true. I told Zander, if you look at Saquon's season, and we all know how good Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson are, and even Cam Jurgens. But if you look at all those long runs, how many are Mekhi Becton in the middle of, just pancaking somebody?
At least 3.
Like, when it comes to the physicality part of it, he put him over the top. Like, they just bully people. And to me, he's the biggest bully of them all. He's just engulfs people.
And he's not a gentle giant either. He says it's on his mind, which I really like about.
Yeah.
He doesn't put up with any BS, as you and I both know, John.
Yes. Don't ask him about his knee either.
No. Well, you and I never did. We got that message.
Oh, I got it early. I did ask him early.
I never asked him, but sometimes you can read the room.
Yeah. He's got a Jason Peters feel when you ask the wrong question. It's like, all right, big guy.
Yeah, right.
He goes, what are we doing here? I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I kind of love when he does that. I'm like, all right, let's talk about you going to guard.
I asked him about the Jets shit show. And he's like, come on, I'm not talking about that. I'm like, all right, dude. All right.
But he gave me a good answer on MetLife. I kind of twisted it on him.
Yeah.
He gave me a good answer on that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The 4 free agents are interesting this year because there's reason to bring them all back, and there's reason that they could all be gone. Jeff, is $15 million a year going to be enough for Zach Bond?
He might get 20.
I know.
I hate to admit that.
It's crazy.
I mean, you were a first-team All-Pro line. You were the best linebacker in football last year. The voters even said it.
And he made plays in the Super Bowl too, as John pointed out.
Is Zach Bond won Defensive Player of the Year? No one in this league would be complaining.
No. The fact that he was even a finalist was, I think a testament to the voters. Not me, but a testament to the voters.
I mean, I had a Hall of Fame head coach, Bill Cowher, literally I know Bill Cowher's getting a lot of crap right now from Tush Push, but he said to me straight up, unprompted, Jalen Carter should have been the Defensive Player of the Year finalist, right? Like, and then he's just going off on tangent what that guy did. I said, what about Zach Bond? Because honestly, they both coincide. They both should have been.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Jalen to me is the most talented Eagles defender. I think that's pretty clear. But, sometimes the most talented guy doesn't have the best season. I think Zach had the best season of any Eagles defender. I think that's the proper way to look at it.
You know what, John? Coward pointed this out to me too. Can you name one bad player on that defense last year?
There wasn't
Yeah.
this year, which is a testament to Vic Fangio because so many moving pieces. You know, the rookies, but even, you know, boy, there were so many stories about the Eagles linebacking room preseason, off season, where people called it the worst linebacking room in the NFL. I mean, think about it. They were counting on, think about where they were. They were counting on Devin White. Devin White was the guy.
And you and I were laughing.
Yeah. Devin White was going to be the guy. And then they would cross their fingers that Nakobe could come back from Liz Frank surgery, which was a very difficult rehab. And then Zach Bond, everybody was like, all right, Zach Bond's really more of an edge rusher. Then it was Oren Burks was going to be the linebacker 3.
And remember, Oren didn't play all of camp. We thought he was going to get cut at one point.
He did get cut. He got,
yeah, that's right.
He did get cut. And how
he did get
manipulate anybody in the league could have had Oren Burks, and how he did his manipulation thing and brought him back. He wanted to keep some of the rookies at the initial cut Oren Burks, was able to get him back to the practice squad, quickly put him back on the roster, and the rest is history. I mean, but that linebacker room, everybody thought it was garbage, and it was the best in football. That I was looking at the PFF grades because I was stunned that Cooper DeJean was number 1 when it all ended up. Number 1. Think about that. Cooper DeJean. Quinyon Mitchell was top 10. Linebacker. Zach Bond was number 1. Fred Warner was number 2. Bobby Wagner was number 3. Two Hall of Fame level players, 2 and 3. Number 4. Oren Burks.
Wow.
Oren freaking Burks. Number 13, by the way, Nakobe Dean. Those are your top 3 linebackers. You got 3 of the top 13 linebackers in the NFL. Bobby King should be getting interviews in New Orleans as well.
Yeah.
With Christian Park.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of glad he's not, because that means he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I would hire Christian Parker or Bobby King to my staff in the moment, but how much is Nick's living up to his little promise here? Hey, these are our guys.
Well, there's nothing he can do about coordinator jobs. So, I mean,
yeah, but you know, them flipping to another team, maybe that's what he meant by that.
Well, he just means he's not letting anybody go, but and he mentioned Nick Rallis specifically because it happened with Nick with Arizona. He couldn't prevent him from going because he got the coordinator job. So,
John, by the way, a sneaky story from this past week. Don't you think it's weird Doug Nussmeier is not in New Orleans yet?
Well, he just interviewed yesterday. He'll probably be hired over the next 48 hours, I would think.
Yeah, you would think, but I mean, Moore and Patullo are really close too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that I think sort of, puts a spark under the Eagles. They realize they have to go in that direction. I think that's the way it's going to happen. But remember, Doug Garrett's down there with LSU.
Yep.
Even if Kellen Moore wanted to hire somebody else as offensive coordinator, and I'm not talking about Kevin Patullo, but somebody else.
Did you guys see Garrett Nussmeier going nuts over Jalen Hurts' touchdown to Devontae Smith?
I did not.
Oh, it was awesome. Like I'm like, man, this guy's gonna be in the NFL next year, Garrett. So
he could have been in the NFL this year.
Yeah, he could have. He might even have first round pick.
That was a sick touchdown too. That touchdown. That was pretty unbelievable.
But I think the Eagles would have made an exception and let Doug leave, even to be the quarterback's coach, because his kid is down there, and he's close with Kellen. You don't want an unhappy guy either. Who's going
to fill in Philly then? And let's just say Doug's gone, and you elevate Patullo. Is there somebody in house that would become the quarterback's coach, or are you bringing somebody in?
Probably got to bring somebody in.
Yeah, I don't think I can't remember off the top of my head who's the assistant quarterback's coach.
They don't have one.
That's right. They don't. That's why I can't remember it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to go outside the organization, which is, people like that for some reason. They don't like it because Alex Tanney was back in the day. He was the assistant quarterbacks coach before he got elevated, and he was one of the guys who got scapegoated after the collapse in 2023. But they don't have one now, so they almost have to go outside the organization. And you're late in the process, so you don't have to pick of the litter, so to speak.
Yeah, you don't have. Look, I know someone mentioned me T. Martin. I said, well, T. Martin had to be the offensive coordinator because I don't think Baltimore's just going to let him be a quarterbacks coach for another team.
Right?
No, yeah, they're not going to let most teams. People don't. You're not going to let somebody under contract leave for a lateral move unless you don't want them. And by this point, if they haven't left, that means their current teams want them. So it's going to be difficult. You might have to go to the college level. Nick's very close with Matt Campbell, and
Yeah, honestly, that's how they got Gunter Brewer because they were late in the process.
Yeah, it's what happens. It's part of the penalty of winning, but you rather win. I would assume most people. But if you look at the Eagles staff from last year, they have lower level guys. It's interesting. Kyle Valero's another guy who nobody talks about. He was Kellen only brought in two people, Doug Nussmeier and Kyle Valero. So Kyle Valero's another guy who might leave. They have Eric Dickerson, not that Eric Dickerson, but a different Eric Dickerson. That's the offensive quality control coach.
How funny would it have been, though, if it was that Eric Dickerson on the Eagles coaching staff saying that stuff about Saquon?
Yeah. So they don't have an obvious quarterbacks coach. So they would almost have to go outside the organization to get one. I suppose you could make Kevin the quarterbacks coach and get another offensive coordinator, but I don't think Kevin would be too happy about that. So a lot of machinations that have to go on.
Yeah, John, you're late, man.
Yeah.
It's late February.
John, did Saquon have the greatest first year for a free agent signing ever?
I think he had the greatest he had the greatest, by definition, running season ever.
Right.
Over TD in 98?
Yeah. I mean, he beat it. I mean,
more games, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's Nick said it again in their unscripted thing that they put out. This is a team and the best team in the ultimate team game. He constantly says it, ultimate team game.
Right.
Ultimate team game. That's where you can debate. Was TD better? Maybe. He didn't have the offensive. This offensive line is, I can't say enough things about this offense.
There were two seasons that I put when I ranked them the greatest seasons ever. And I moved Saquon up, obviously, after they won the Super Bowl. But over the top, they were just dominant from start to finish. Saquon and Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp won Super Bowl MVP, and he's the only receiver to ever.
He won the Triple Crown.
Yeah, won a Triple Crown, caught the winning touchdown, won Super Bowl MVP. I'm like, all right, you got Cooper over Saquon there. But
well, that's the thing about football, because nobody has the same. Again, I go back to Nick, ultimate team game. Nobody has the same supporting cast, but so you can judge seasons. Saquon had the best season ever as a runner, I would say. But you can make an argument that TD had because Saquon had the offensive line. Not that Denver's offensive line was bad, but this is one of the best offensive lines in the history of the game. So you can make that argument. But as far as having the best season, Saquon.
Does Saquon, and I know this is my Penn State homerism coming in here. If he has another year even close to this, is that Hall of Fame?
I think so.
I think he was already Hall of Fame. Zander can tell you that. But part of the Hall of Fame is Everybody thinks he's a Hall of Famer. And by that, I mean, like his peers are in awe of him.
It's more than his peers, too. It's people around the league.
Well, yeah. I mean, the coaches, the players, they're all in awe of him.
He didn't exactly log a Hall of Fame resume in his years in New York, though.
No, and when I said he's already
his fault, though.
And when I said he's already a Hall of Fame player, I meant, he's going to play 2-3 more years. He's going to put up big numbers, and that's part of it. That I'm factoring that in, but he's already regarded as a Hall of Fame talent, if that's what you want to say it. So all he has to do is, go through the process and go through the steps and have another couple good seasons, and he's in. He's in. He's basically he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Because people are just in awe of him. As well they should be.
Also, during Super Bowl week, I have to say, I am so happy Eli Manning was not a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Oh, I've been saying that.
He's
not a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah, he's not. I'm sorry. You played well.
He's going in. So both of you guys.
I think he's going in, but
I think he's going in. I said, in fact, I know he's going in, and I'll still say it when he goes in. He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. Period. End of sentence.
2 Super Bowls over the GOAT. Sorry, John. I do not agree.
I don't care. He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Won the first.
That's your opinion.
It's not a Hall of Fame. It's not best Super Bowl players.
It's the pinnacle of the sport, John. I mean,
it's a Hall of Fame for a career. He is not he's a 500 quarterback throughout his career. Literally 500.
All right, I'm just saying that's your opinion that he's not a Hall of Fame player. In my eyes, he's a Hall of Fame player for sure.
Yeah, that's your opinion too.
What's that?
That's your opinion too.
Yeah, I know.
And you're putting a weighted thing on Super Bowl wins. And by the way, if you even look at the Super Bowls, like he had 2 great runs, obviously, but even in the Super Bowls, you're a David Tyree helmet catch away from not even considering.
And you should. And the play before that, Asante Samuel dropped.
You're Asante Samuel dropped it.
Okay, so now we're not going to sit here and play coulda, shoulda, woulda on Super Bowls from years ago over this, are we? I mean, the play happened. They won the Super Bowl. He's got
that to me. I always try to elevate the conversation. If you can look in the mirror and say, "Oh, you know what? If David Tyree doesn't make the catch, I don't even consider this guy to be a Hall of Fame quarterback." He's not a fucking Hall of Fame quarterback.
Okay, we'll see.
If he doesn't make the play and you still say he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, then he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Because there's a million things that have to go right to win a Super Bowl.
All right, who's had better career?
The Hall of Fame voters.
Jalen Hurts or Eli Manning? Right now, let's put the cards on the table. Who's had a better career so far?
Jalen's way ahead of.
Exactly. Jalen is better than Eli.
I've been saying Jalen was on a Hall of Fame trajectory all year. That's what he is.
It's very early, but he's way ahead at this stage.
I don't ever remember Eli being a top 5 quarterback in his sport.
But that again, you're not looking at it the same way that other people are going to look at it. The Hall of Fame voters are going to put him in, no matter what any of us think. Our opinion, your opinion, John's opinion, it doesn't matter. They're going to put him in the Hall of Fame. So we all have different scales for how we value things. Many people value Super Bowls. John has said before he'd rather go to 4 straight Super Bowls and lose them all than win 1 Super Bowl.
Which is pretty damn impressive.
I don't agree with that.
No, I would rather win first of all, I didn't say
Okay, Zander, name me a quarterback that's been to 4 straight Super Bowls.
Jim Kelly.
Okay, name me another one.
No, there isn't one.
It's hard. It's hard
I understand. I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm just saying I value a Super Bowl win more.
And I'm not even talking about personal. I said it's more impressive to me to be consistently great is what I was trying to say. And by the way, I thought Eli Manning would go in this year for a number of reasons. One, because he was the only quarterback eligible, and they always want to put a quarterback in. So I was
tougher to get in now, though.
I was very happy, not happy, I shouldn't say. I was very proud of the voters for not putting him in. And maybe they won't.
This is
guess what? You know what? They haven't put Jim fucking Plunkett in. You know why?
Because they knew.
Because he's a 500 quarterback. But he won 2 Super Bowls.
And he was a number 1 pick too, right? Was
Yeah.
Jim number 1 or number 2? I can't remember the year Jim was.
And he was, but he had, he was number 1 overall pick. He won the Heisman Trophy. So you're talking about a big time player coming in. For those too young to remember, Jim Plunkett won 2 different Super Bowls.
Oh, and Jim Plunkett was a huge underdog in both his Super Bowls.
Deserves tremendous credit for that, but he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback, and they never put him in, to their credit.
Look how long it took them to put Kenny Stabler.
Oh my God. Kenny Stabler should have been. Now that's one I argued the other point. Kenny Stabler should have been in years before he went in. Just that guy. You talk about a
Kenny
winning
Stabler
quarterback.
get in before he passed? I can't remember.
That I don't know. But yeah, it took him way too long to get in. But what happened with Kenny Stabler is, remember, it was a different game in the 70s. And the statistics weren't nearly as impressive as they are now.
He was still really good at what he did.
Well, he never lost.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his deal.
The Snake.
One
One of the best nicknames too.
Yeah. He had the run with the Raiders, with basically the John Madden Raiders, where he lost 2, 4, 7, 8, 11 games in 5 years.
Do you guys consider wins to be a quarterback stat?
Yes.
Yes and no. It's not the be all end all, but when you win a lot like Kenny Stabler or Jalen Hurts right now,
when you're defiant,
meaningful.
When people are defiant about wins being a quarterback stat, I have no time for you.
It's very meaningful when you're consistently good over a long period of time. Like Peyton Manning, it's meaningful. I used to joke, Peyton Manning, who I consider the greatest regular season quarterback of all time. And because he only won 2 Super Bowls. And by the way, in the second one, he was on.
By the way, Peyton was a lot better in a postseason than people gave him credit.
Yeah, he's great. He's fucking one of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time. But that, to me, true greatness, and with Indianapolis, they would start the season knowing, and when they stepped on the field in training camp, their floor was 10 wins. Their floor was 10 wins. And if he had a good season, he'd get to 12. If he had a great season, he'd get to 13 or 14. And then you go to the playoffs, and everybody, whittles things down to the playoffs. But that, to me, is consistent greatness. When you know before you step onto the field, and I said this about Aaron Rodgers and the entitlement of the Green Bay fan base, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, for 25 years, basically, Green Bay fans went into every game thinking they were going to win.
I'll tell you what, in the 90s, John, I loved watching Brett Favre, and I used to say, it must be nice knowing like they're going to win 12 games.
Well, I just think the biggest knock on Eli is the 500 record. And I'm like, well, how much of that is on the shitty New York Giants organization?
But it wasn't a shitty organization a lot of those years.
Because they won 2 Super Bowls with Eli Manning. If they didn't have Eli Manning, you never know what they would have accomplished.
No, it was
maybe they were how many years have they been bottom of the barrel since Eli Manning left? Every year?
They were bottom of the barrel when he was there.
Yeah.
So he elevated that shitty fucking organization to 2
Tom
Super Bowls.
Coughlin
You
did.
can't talk
Tom
out of
Coughlin
both sides
did.
of the mouth and say 500 record for Eli is a reason he shouldn't get into the Hall of Fame.
But
he
the Hall of
elevated
Famer
shitty
on the
fucking
Giants, Tom
2
Coughlin.
Super Bowls.
The Hall of Famer's Coughlin. It's not Eli.
Well, they're both Hall of Famers. And Jeff, the coach doesn't play the game, brother. We sit here all the time. John, who matters more, players or coach? It's a player's game. You're going to tell me that Tom Coughlin went out there and won 2 Super Bowls?
When you coach with Bill Belichick and know his scheme, yes.
Okay. So coaches
and part of the reason,
because you don't like Eli Manning, a coach is more important.
It has nothing to do with Eli Manning. He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
You just said that Tom Coughlin won those Super Bowls and Eli Manning
did.
First of all, ultimate team game.
Well,
Here's what I'll say about winning.
Much context to the record. So if you're going to use the 500 record for Eli Manning, you have to add the context.
Well, here's the context. one of the reasons
Here's the context, Zander. 9-7, the worst team to be 9-7 to make the playoffs. The worst. They had negative point differential. They had a walk-in against the Falcons. They had a walk-in in the wild card round.
Yeah,
now is that all on Eli Manning or the shitty organization?
The defense won that game too.
How about the fucking defense? When Eli Manning won the show, how about the fucking Giants defense? How about their front four? They dominated both of those games.
With Tuck, with Umanura, with Strahan.
They did have good. There's no doubt they had a good defense, but if
people
say the same thing on Jalen Hurts in 20 years, I'm going to tell them they're wrong.
If quarterbacks won and lost Super Bowls, Peyton would have 10.
I agree.
Other people are fucking involved, but
you're moving the goalposts.
One of the reasons Eli Manning, I think, is going to get in, but now I'm hopeful he won't because I think the voters showed a lot of sense. But one of the reasons I think he's going to get in is because of his last name.
Yep, I agree.
So
if his name is John McMullen, this wouldn't even be a conversation.
No, yeah, exactly. You talk about when Eli Manning won 12 games once in his career. His brother won 12 games. I got to count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in his career. And he did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row. That's fucking greatness. Because his name is fucking Manning, he ain't his brother.
I'll tell you how much Peyton Manning saved the Manning legacy. Before Peyton Manning showed up, you know what I used to hear about Archie? Yeah, he was a great player, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't a winner. He certainly wasn't that. And he made a lot of mistakes in his career. But Archie Manning walks around, acts like he was the greatest player that ever existed. Oh, if I played on the Raiders, I would have won. No, you wouldn't have. Because you turned the ball over.
Yeah, he did. He was a bit of it. Now, he played on a really
he was on a really bad Saints team.
Yeah, he was too old. You can go to the other side, too, because we, just bringing it back to present-day Eagles. In 10, 15, 20 years, there's already people now who are saying Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl because of the team around him. So it goes in
every quarterback won a Super Bowl because of the team
every single one. Tom Brady's Patriots carried him to 3 early.
You can't win a Super Bowl without a good team. Nobody carried a shitty team to the Super Bowl. There's nobody you can.
You could argue maybe Eli Manning did.
No, he didn't.
Jeff just told you they were the shittiest 9-7 team ever.
He meant from a standpoint, and the shittiness was not the defense; it was the offense.
I know.
Yeah,
the defense carried those teams, particularly the front four. And Tom Brady will fucking tell you if anybody listens to him, and they should.
He's going into the Hall of Fame. That's the bottom line.
Unfortunately,
I'm not denying that, but it doesn't mean I got to agree.
I think he's going in the Hall of Fame. I'm now hopeful he's not, and he did in the first year.
I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and I'll just have to accept it. It just is what it is.
Yeah. That's just a bad job by the voters. Voters do a bad job. I voted for the All-Pro. Some people think I did a good job. Some people think I did a bad job. We're human beings. We make mistakes.
People are still into the guy who voted. Who was it? Was it Lamar Ford for MVP?
Somebody voted him fourth.
Yeah. By the way, this is my biggest pet peeve in sports. If I had a vote, I would reveal it. But I don't need the Twitter self-righteous police hunting me down for who I vote for. They do it with the president. They do it with senators. Grow up.
Yeah, grow the fuck up. That's a good example.
Grow up. I don't care who you voted for, period.
Yeah.
Well, people could say the same thing back to you. I'm just saying.
I know, but they're going to hunt me if I'm a voter. They hunt these Baseball Hall of Fame voters like it's like they're Joan of Arc or something.
But shit, Barry, I mean, shit, now we're going to get into a tangent, but the Baseball Hall of Fame, there's a lot to criticize there, Jeff.
Well, there is, but
I mean, come on.
They have the right
to but I have no problem.
A lot to criticize there, man.
I have no problem with anyone who wants to criticize my votes. I criticize, to Zander's point, Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame especially, because I think it's stupid not to have Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and et cetera in the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
But, that's it. That's as far as I take it. I'm not going to burn down people's houses. I just think
if I ever had the opportunity John did, I would post it on Twitter like, look, here are my votes. You want to criticize, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to hide it, but don't hunt me down.
Yeah, they publicized all our ballots, so anybody can look at it. Who cares? I don't care.
How about
I stand behind every single one of them.
Who was it, John? Was it Pelissero crying about how?
Yeah, Pelissero. Which I was talking to Rob about that at the Super Bowl. It's like, come on, dude. I mean, and I like Tom, but it's a conflict of interest. That's why you work for the league. That's why none of the NFL Network people get votes. None of them do, because they work for the league.
I think what a lot of people got upset was, and John, you were far from this, but certain people who got a vote when they revealed the 50 voters.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
Oh, they don't like that.
There are certain people that are part of the voting panel. They're like, wait a minute. How did this person get a vote?
Well, there's some that don't even want the vote. Like Mike Florio doesn't even want it anymore, evidently. But
I think Florio was one of the ones they were criticizing. But I was saying, well, yeah, you're right. He doesn't want it. So
yeah. So I
heard the vitriol was going toward Kay Adams.
Well, she's famous. So,
she's famous. It's I don't really care who votes, but
I don't either. I think they're trying to just get a collection of people that are ingrained in the game that are that have different perspectives.
And Kay talks to everybody.
That's what I mean. Kay's very ingrained in the. She worked for the NFL Network for years. I mean, I didn't have a problem with.
And her show's great. That's one of the few football shows I watch because she has a lot of interviews.
People like to be outraged, guys, in the social media world, as we just were on the segment about Eli Manning. I mean, people like to be outraged.
Well, they like to pretend they're outraged.
That's true.
I don't think they're really,
I don't know if they're actually. I don't know. If they're actually
I don't think they're really.
John and Zander could have a 30-minute conversation of Eli Manning. Someone will take 1 minute of it and post on social media.
I mean, believe me, if Eli Manning goes into the Hall of Fame, I'm not going to lose any sleep other than just to say, I don't agree with that.
I'm still mad William Byron won the Daytona 500 the way he did. I didn't lose any sleep over it.
Yeah.
I watched that, Jeff. I watched that yesterday. Jeff, I don't know if you heard me before. We have one of our viewers who has a really cool job at NASCAR, dude. He's like really up close. He sent me a video of the presidential cabin that was there yesterday going around. He had the flyover up close. He had some really cool videos.
I'm telling you, people who work in NASCAR media, man, it's tireless, it's relentless. I give him a ton of credit.
He works hard, but really, really cool footage. So that was that was pretty cool stuff there.
I always say, man, you got to be a dedicated journalist to follow the traveling circus every week.
I think the toughest sport is baseball. I still say that.
As someone who covers baseball, I agree. Sometimes I think it's tougher than covering football just because of how many times you're going to write about this.
Exactly. You got to come up with they play 162 of those things. And by the way, when you go to work, you never know when it's going to end. They've done a better job, but in the old days, man, you get a 14,
you know how many
16,
times
18 inning
Alec
game?
Boehm was like, how many times are we going to talk about my slump? I don't know. You going to get out of it?
Yeah, really. What the fuck?
Come
on, Alec. Come on, Alec.
That's why we appreciate Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto so much. They talk every single day. They're like the leaders in that club. Like Bryce will talk. Bryce talks a lot too. But, man, Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto, I don't know how they do it. They talk every single day. They get around the same question, and they give you a good answer for every single one. I just think they like talking to people.
The Phillies, what? They reported for training camp, spring training last week?
Pitchers and catchers reported last Thursday and first full squad workouts today.
I hate to say it, but did anybody even know? I mean,
I don't think they did.
Wait, Jeff, I love you, Jeff. I'm going to take you though, and I'm going to leave you out of this because I know you knew, but most people I feel like didn't even know. We were so locked in on the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, but these are all.
The Phillies changing their lineup for this year is like new news to everybody, and we're like, we kind of knew this for like a week now that they were thinking of tinkering it. So
yeah, no doubt.
Well, unfortunately, the Dodgers are going to win again, so we can fast forward to all of that.
I hope that's not the case, but yeah,
The Mets will under-deliver. That's another thing we can.
You know what? Speaking of overrated teams, man, were the Mets overrated last year?
They got a lot of talent, though, man. They just keep signing big name talent. I don't know if it's ever going to work, but they keep.
I give them credit though for bringing back P. Alonso. I think they needed P. Alonso to protect Juan Soto. If they had not re-signed P. Alonso, Juan Soto would have been a mistake.
That owner's just out there. He doesn't give a shit, man. He's just writing checks.
He's got money.
I will say this though: I don't think the Mets pitching is going to be as good as it was last year.
Yeah, I'm not a Mets guy. I hate the Mets, but we'll see what they end up doing this year. It'll be interesting. Jeff, I do want to ask you on a lighthearted note at the end. I know it's not for you guys. I know Johnny Mac doesn't love this stuff either, but what did you take away from the parade on Friday? All right, we were down there, JAKIB
Best
Sports.
Parade ever.
You know what, Zander? If I knew you guys were, down there, I would have came up. I saw you guys were. Where were you guys?
Jeff. We had such a good spot. We were smack on the south side of City Hall, right on the I don't know what you call it, the porch or whatever they call that thing out there.
Yeah.
With a big flatbed truck. We were elevated because you got the whole sea of people. Yeah. We were elevated probably like six feet in the air. And we had our broadcast table. We were looking right at the parade, came directly at us. And then
I would have enjoyed that. I would have enjoyed talking to you guys and watching the parade. It was so cool. See, I would have done that for the
I'll remember that broadcast for a while. That was and I met some of our great people, by the way, who are in the chat right now. We have awesome supporters. But yeah, it was a really cool moment. What did you take away though from the parade?
I mean, I thought it was an awesome parade, honestly. You know, just watching it all.
Best parade ever.
On TV. 08 Phillies.
Is that a Hall of Fame parade, Jeff?
08 Phillies is a Hall of Fame parade for me. I'll just
better than Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade.
I watch that one every year. I love the Macy's Thanksgiving Day.
Rose Bowl parade.
I like parades.
You're a parade guy? Yeah. If there's no media access, I ain't showing up.
Well, I don't blame you. That's why I ain't show up. It was the first championship parade I missed.
Yeah.
I don't need media access. I was amongst the people. I was in heaven.
My family's been Philly season ticket holders for years. I still have them. It's funny because in 08 we had the opportunity, and I came back from college to sit in the stadium for the parade. And man, we were out on Broad and Patterson. We got to see him come in. We went to our seats, and Chase Utley just dropped a world effing champions on us. And mic drop. That was. I don't think anything's ever going. And Brandon Graham had a good one on.
Wait, you know what the funniest part about that, Jeff, is that the whole city talked about the one Chase Utley F-bomb for like a year after that. And then you fast forward to the 2024 Eagles parade. There's so many bleep outs on the TV. You can't even hear what the speeches were.
Well, no one expected. You know what? Honestly, and I always joke about this. I wasn't surprised Chase did it. But my favorite Chase Utley line ever is when he got booed at the All-Star game at the home run. He's like, "Boo, F you."
Yeah. I think it's funny how we've gone from, reacting in such a big way to the one F-bomb. Now we got like 40.
Did you guys see the compilation of all the stuff that got edited out?
Oh, no, I didn't see it. Somebody put it up uncensored. I think it was like who was it? AP or somebody put up a broadcast of it uncensored. I don't know who it was.
See, that's why I like to hear these guys unfiltered, because we hear them unfiltered a lot, but the world gets to hear them unfiltered. Like Jordan Mailata kept to his word. I asked him.
They got to give JAKIB a camera because I can keep it unfiltered on the on YouTube. So I don't need to abide by the FCC. All right, get us a camera, Bob Lang. Come on.
Brandon Graham ended the best. Not the best way. We're from Philly, effing Philly. No one likes us, and we don't care. Yeah, see you later.
Hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you, and this will be to our wrestling people. So real quick, WWE debuted a new reality show last night on A&E. It's called LFG. Let's fucking go. But anyway, I bring it up to you, Jeff, because one of the girls on the show is a former Penn State cheerleader who her name is Danny, who used to be a Titans cheerleader, and she was freaking phenomenal. So I don't know if you know her, but I'm throwing that out there.
Funny connection. I'm gonna have to ask them about this, but a girl who my sister was friends with was a Titans cheerleader, I think, when this person was a Titans cheerleader.
Danny, her last
I'm
name
gonna have
begins
to
with an S.
ask if
I
they know
forget.
each other.
I forget her wrestling name is Danny Ray. They change it. Here it is. Danielle Sekaleski.
I've heard that name before.
So anyway, she was Penn State cheerleading MVP, Penn State cheerleading leadership award, blah, blah, blah. Because that's like a competitive, believe it or not, competitive sport at the college level.
They go hardcore.
Yeah.
Trust me.
So anyway, she was the Penn State cheerleading MVP, and now she's going to be a wrestling star. So there you go. Another Penn State feather in the cap for you.
We got plenty of them.
Danny Ray. Keep an eye out for her.
Speaking of which, Saquon is apparently on my TV again right now. About the dynasty comments. Here we go. So
we'll see how it all shakes out. Jeff Kerr, any final thoughts for us on this Monday, man, as we now prepare? What are we? We're 10 days, Jeff, from the NFL Combine. We're 23 days away from free agency, and we're 66 days away from the NFL Draft.
Hey, guys, am I an honest person if when free agency comes, I'm going to be in Clearwater just enjoying myself?
Yeah. Why? Where else would you rather be? Just keep an eye on the phone. Just that's all.
My eye on film will be at Disney, too, when I take my couple days at Disney break.
All right. You're going to ride the teacups, or you're going to go on Space Mountain?
Space Mountain? Come on, John.
When are you going
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train?
When are you going down, Jeff?
I will be down from the 8th to the 12th. Nice. I got to go on the Guardians ride again. I'm upset.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while since I've been to Disney. I'll tell you what, they're opening a new theme park, Universal.
I saw that.
Yeah, so you got plenty to do.
My love-hate affair with roller coasters is weird. So I don't mind going up. It's going down.
Well, I think that's everybody, isn't it? The whole going down is, that's the whole rush of it.
Yeah. But there are some I just love. I don't know why. Like, I'm not a fan of loop-de-loops, but I'll go on Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster. Maybe it's because of the music. I don't know.
All right. Roller coaster guy.
First time I went on it, I didn't know there was a loop-de-loop on it. And I got out. I'm like, did I go on a loop-de-loop? And someone goes, yeah, you did. I'm like,
where else could you get Eli Manning Hall of Fame talk, roller coaster talk, NASCAR talk,
Disney World,
Penn State cheerleading talk, Disney World talk? Only here.
This is peak off season, boys.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is. Jeff, I do love the off season. Jeff, we appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much for joining in, my man.
Yeah, anytime, guys. I'll see you next week.
See you, bud.
There's Jeff joining us here on Birds 365. Great stuff from Jeff Kerr. Great debates, great discussions all around. We appreciate him joining in here on the show. John, plenty to talk about, man, with the off season coming up, man. I look forward, and I have a checklist here of everything. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of stuff going on in the off season, and I love each and every bit of it, but a lot to talk about on Birds 365.
Yeah, man. I always say that's what the NFL does better than anybody else. I criticize the NFL a lot, but not when it comes to the calendar. They are seamless to make sure they're always on the front page, so to speak. Anybody read newspapers anymore, but they don't. But they set up, you go seamlessly. Regular season ends, you got the combine, you got free agency, you got draft talk, all the way up to mini camps, off-season work, OTAs, mandatory mini camp. The only downtime really is that little 6-week span between mini camp and training camp where there is a little bit of a pause. But other than that, just churn away, man. Never stops.
No doubt about it. Let's get to a couple super chats, then we'll get to our commercial break. Brian Pumper checks in. Can't believe I lived to see the day when Z crashed out on behalf of Eli Manning, but that Tanner McKee, I tell you, projects to be him. Wait. Brian Pumper, wait a second, brother. Wait, Brian.
You were
Pumper.
defending Eli pretty hard.
Wait, John.
Eagles fans, Zander Krause.
Who has been had potentially the worst takes in all of JAKIB land. We have thousands of viewers who comment in, Dale. The worst takes of the year. Worse than Cilio, worse than John, worse than me, worse than everybody in the chat. The worst takes of the year on quarterback Jalen Hurts come from Brian Pumper. And now he's going to tell me I'm wrong about another quarterback. Brian Pumper, take a seat in the back, enjoy the show, and we'll catch you on tomorrow's episode. Because you have no room to talk on quarterbacks at all, my friend. Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl MVP after you told me all year he was a fucking trash can. So, Pumper, get the fuck out of here, Brian. You got to be kidding me with that. General JD says, hey, J-Mac, isn't Juergens due for an extension also? Not yet, right? Not yet.
Well, he's eligible for an extension after this season. So, yeah, he'll be in the mix. Yeah, he'll be a guy the Eagles try to get done. He's a very good player. There's no doubt about that. So, you know, he's a guy they'll try to get done. But when you talk about urgency, there's no urgency to get it done yet. But yeah, he'll be, because, you know, the Eagles' philosophy, the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost. So, you know, that's one of the things we just went through it as a second round pick. There's no 5th-year option. So he's drafted in 2022. So he's eligible for an extension after this season at the start of the new league year. The Eagles will try to get something done, but he could always sit back like Milton Williams and say, you know what? I'm on the best offensive line in the NFL. I play again like I played last year. I get better. I could be the highest paid center in football. You know, it's always a two-way street.
All right. There's a couple other people too. What do you think they're going to do with Jordan Davis, John?
That one is a little bit more difficult because he's a first-round pick, and the Eagles could just exercise his 5th-year option they have till early May. It might even be May 1st, somewhere in that range, to exercise their 5th-year option. However, that's significant money. Does he play enough? That's a difficult decision for the Eagles. Not the end of the world if they say they're not going to exercise the option. Just means they have to work something out longer term. So it's no guarantee, but it wouldn't be a surprise to me if the Eagles decline the option, to be honest. But that doesn't mean they're not trying to bring him back. It just means they don't want to have that albatross of the 5th year hanging over their head.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him because, I mean, you mentioned Jalen Carter. He's going to get, you know, crazy money. He's going to reset the market at defensive tackle. You got Nolan Smith coming up. You got a lot of guys, John, coming up on defense where, you know, I saw a crazy thing the other day. Just as we get into this offseason, I want to share this with everybody here. All right. This is this defense. Cooper DeJean is 22 years old. Quinyon Mitchell's 23 years old. Jalen Carter's 23 years old. Jalix Hunt is 23 years old. Moro Ajomo is 23 years old. Nolan Smith is 24. Nakobe Dean's 24. Jordan Davis is 25. Reed Blankenship's 25. And then Milton Williams is also 25, but we'll see. He's probably out the door. But, I mean, that's a young defense, Johnny Mac, for what they were able to do this year. And eventually you're going to have to pay a lot of those guys.
Yep. And you got to keep Vic healthy and wanting to go, you know, wanting to keep coaching. So I think he's a big part of it as well. But no doubt, and Vic will be the first one to tell you that players first. But, you know, he was a big part of it. His teaching is off the charts because everybody copies the scheme. They're copying the wrong thing. You got to find somebody who can teach it.
Right.
And that's what Vic has done better than anybody else. Speaking of those hot takes, by the way, can I just bring up Jake Tapper for a second? Because he
called out silly. I was hilarious.
Oh my fucking God, dude. Of all people, Jake fucking Tapper. And by the way, CNN is such a joke. And I get it. Eagles fans love it. He's spiking and he's taking everybody's bad clips over the season. A lot of people, and I've called him out on the show. here, Orlovsky, all his stupid shit. He had everybody's clip. He put Sills up there. Could have put me up there. Could have put anybody up there. Because if anybody should know, if you're on TV every fucking day and you think you're going to get 100% of things right, TV, radio, wherever, Jake Tapper doesn't. Could you imagine if somebody felt like putting together your shitty political takes over a whole year?
John, I didn't know where you were going with this, but I appreciate
you fucking moron. And I don't care. The fact that CNN, which was at one time the leading news organization in the world, gives a platform to an Eagles fan to spike the football, grow the fuck up, Jake Tapper.
Eagles fans did love it. I tell you what, I got a lot of that sent to me because Big Sill, Big Sills, he loved it. He's like, yeah, baby, we're on CNN. I loved it. It was great. But
fuck up. Nobody has said more stupid shit over the years than Jake Tapper.
Yeah, I agree with that. You're gonna start
stupid lane, you stupid moron. That's what I think of Jake Tapper. And I know Sills is one of those guys that thinks, any publicity is good publicity. And I'm not defending Sills's take or anybody's take here. Anybody can have their own, but I do know everybody who does this shit as much as I do that doesn't get shit right. The only people who are morons who don't admit that and say, "Oh, I don't want to admit I get shit wrong all the time." Not as much as Jake Tapper, but I get shit wrong all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Idiot.
We all do. It was funny. I love that. I love that little rant by you there. No, it was funny though.
Because CNN of all people was supposed to be above that shit.
We have this iconic.
I like the Eagles. I'm going to go on and waste fucking 6 minutes of CNN's airtime.
Well, that airtime is not as valuable as it once was.
Yeah, well, I agree with that for that reason.
Yeah, right. You might be right about that. No doubt about it. All right. I didn't expect to get that rant from J-Mac today. I love it, though. General JD, what's a realistic trade package for Garrett? A lot.
2 number 1s, number 2, number 3, and a player or 2.
Ugh. That's too much.
Well, remember, 2 number 1s for the Eagles are not good. Yeah,
it's so low.
Yeah.
They're so low. You think Howie's going to do?
That's Eagles centric.
What's your gut inclination on? Do you think Howie will be like really willing to deal that? I know he's going to call. He always calls. He calls about everybody, but is he really going to be a player at that type of price for a player like that? In your opinion?
I think if it's a possibility, he will exhaust every avenue. This organization loves Myles Garrett, loves him as a player. Now, you'd probably say that about 31.
Yeah, I mean, he is what, almost 30 years old. So I mean,
he is, arguably, again, in the very short list for people that could say they're the best football player in the world. Yeah, I mean, again, the Eagles only think about things in 3-year increments. He's still at the top of his game. That I think if they pick up a player like that, they'll be the favorites to say the least. They're already the favorites, but even more of a favorite. How do you block Myles Garrett and Jalen Carter, and then just everybody else they have? And again, 32nd pick ain't as valuable as
no. Yeah.
And they're going to be good next year, so it's just a matter of how good. You're picking 28th to 32nd for sake of argument. Who cares? You can get a player of Myles Garrett's. But then you start talking about the other stuff because you ain't getting it done for 2 first-round picks. So it would be very expensive, but that's the type of player that they would consider.
I love the player too. I'm a Myles Garrett. I mean, I love him, but I don't know, man. That's hefty price to pay for a team that just won a Super Bowl.
Well, I don't care about the 32nd pick. I got to be honest with you.
Me neither. I'm with you on that. But,
now, by that, I mean,
you said young players, though. That's what people.
I hope.
I'm not giving up Nolan Smith. I'm not giving up a guy like that.
Yeah, you might have to. You might have to.
Yeah, no.
Like,
When
with
you
all
said
due
young player,
respect
who
to
did you have in mind?
Nolan Smith, yeah, I don't, yeah. But thanks. Yeah, unbelievable run. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and compare Nolan Smith to Myles Garrett.
Yeah, but you also
If, if I got to give up Nolan Smith to get Myles Garrett, I'm giving up Nolan Smith to get Myles Garrett. Like, if it's, let's just
I
say
don't know.
for sake of argument, if it's 2 number 1 picks, a number 2, and Nolan Smith, I do that. I do that in a heartbeat. I don't
Well, if
think
the
it gets
world
it
ended
done.
in 3 years, I would do it. But I mean, I think Nolan Smith is a 23-year-old player who's got a bright future at him. You're going to get rid of everybody for 2 years of a 30-year-old guy, 3 years?
If you get 2 more Super Bowl titles, yeah. What
Yeah,
do
well,
I
that's
care?
fair. But I mean, that's not a surefire way to get 2
No,
more
but
Super Bowl
I
titles.
mean,
We just
all
had the
the
best defense in the NFL
all
that
the
had
all,
Patrick
all
Mahomes and Andy Reid in prison, and we didn't have Myles Garrett.
all the Eagles talk about is not being, risk averse, and Howie Roseman is willing to do the things that other people won't do, because they're gonna. Yeah, I mean, you can always hem and haw and say the goal is to get good players. The Eagles learned that this year with Saquon Barkley. You can talk about
Yeah, but you don't want to
positions.
get rid of good players, especially good young players that you drafted.
Yeah, but again, people fall in love with Nolan Smith has done it for 8 games, basically. And it was a great 8
Well,
games.
you're not going to get a good argument back from me. Myles Garrett is certainly a better player than Nolan Smith.
Miles
I'm
Garrett,
just saying, for me personally,
there's no debate on Miles Garrett being in the Hall
yeah,
of
no,
Fame.
I'm not going to debate you on that. But I will say this team is Super Bowl champions, and you had a guy like Nolan Smith. So,
Well, and that's the thing about football. It's interesting. People only do it about quarterbacks, right? Only about quarterbacks, because Myles Garrett ain't near the Super Bowl, never won the Super Bowl, shitty organization, but everybody recognizes the greatness because the greatness is just indisputable. Or it should be to anybody who understands football. Nolan Smith is a Super Bowl champion. Nobody talks about it that way, only at the quarterback position.
right.
I know, because I've heard the Eagles talk about it. I know what they think about Myles as a player. I know what Jordan Mailata thinks about him as a player. I know what Lane Johnson thinks about him as a player. 2 of the best tackles in football. This guy's just different, man. Like that, and that's, like I said, you can bring up 100 defensive ends. You can bring up Max Crosby, guys who are
Yeah, but you must understand the other element of it too, where these are humans. It's not a video game where you plug in a 99 overall and it just makes everything better. You're going to get rid of Nolan Smith on a team like this that seems to be the most connected team you've seen. I think that's a part of winning the Super Bowl.
I did not envision this, but I cannot believe we're talking about Nolan Smith not giving up Nolan Smith.
A 1-to-1 trade. Though. You're talking about 2 first, the second.
By the way, I'm not advocating just because you would think if Cleveland's going to trade him, they would want an edge rusher back. I hope people realize I'm not advocating or saying the Eagles want to trade Nolan Smith. They love Nolan Smith. I'm saying you cannot let your prevention of players that may be here that you've had success with, when you're talking, and there's few players on the planet in the same realm as Myles Garrett. At that point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're going in to get Myles Garrett, and I assume most Eagles fans want the Eagles to go in and get Myles Garrett. If you're going in for a player, like, you got to understand, you got to give up some shit.
I know, but you're gonna, John. I do not like that. I do not like the sound of that at all. And I love Myles Garrett. I do not like the sound. Mortgage in your future like that.
What future?
Nolan Smith is 23.
You're talking about, again, Howie. This is not me. Howie looks at things in 3-year increments. That's it. This is the NFL. People can talk about the next 10 years, but there's so much turnover. For the Eagles, it's about 3-year increments. That's it.
Best I can, as Josh being the best I can do is Bryce Huff. You want to give Bryce Huff? I'll do it.
Well, the classic, always fans want to. Yeah, you get Bryce.
Yeah,
maybe
you
you throw in Gabe.
player.
Maybe you throw in Gabe Hall. You ain't getting it done.
I know.
And if you don't want him, then don't ask about it.
You can tell me I'm stupid. I wouldn't do the proposal that was put forward.
That's fine. Then don't ask the questions about Myles Garrett. You're not getting Myles Garrett for Bryce Huff.
I said what you said. I think we can have a different opinion.
I'm not yelling. I'm yelling at fans saying Bryce. You're not getting Myles Garrett for bullshit.
No, I know. Yes, it's going to take a good player. And 2 ones,
and multiple,
and a 2, and a 3, and then you're like, I don't know about all that. Maybe I can just continue to build on the number 1 defense that we already have.
Well, then that's fine too,
right? Doesn't that factor in though? Like if you're the 15 defense, you're like, yeah, let's go top 1, let's go top 10. If you're the number 1 overall defense with all the pieces as they stood today, you could almost argue it'd be more valuable to sign Josh Sweat without giving up any capital and keep the band together because you already had the number 1 defense. Now, I know you have to evolve. That's part of the NFL. But I'm saying you could make that argument. That argument wouldn't be complete bullshit.
I would lean towards that argument, to be honest. Would I trade for Myles Garrett? No, I would not. But I also wouldn't have signed Saquon Barkley. He's a Saquon Barkley on defense. That's what he is.
Yeah, but we didn't have to give up AJ Brown to sign Saquon.
No, Saquon was free, and it's at a more valued position. I'm just talking about talent wise. I'm not talking because defensive end, edge rusher.
Yeah, I got you.
Is much more valuable in the NFL's eyes. So you not only have to pay more, but he's not free. So I'm not comparing this. I'm just comparing the talent of the players. Saquon Barkley at his position is basically Myles Garrett at his position. So you saw the upside of Saquon Barkley at his position. And you could argue that Myles is even better at his position, can at least make the argument. And if you have similar impact, that's the upside. I'm with you.
Play GM. All right, so you're going to say no, like if the trade.
No, I'm not trading for Myles Garrett if I'm the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm not.
For the exact point you just said, I already had the number 1 defense. I don't have to give up assets.
Yeah, I have the benefit of leverage in this negotiation. I mean, they might because the other people are going to give better offers, but from an Eagles perspective, you don't have to go that far. You're not in.
No, and I wouldn't. I was just answering the question of what it would take.
I got you.
And I would not, if I were the Eagles, I wouldn't go in that direction because look, while I say I don't care about the 32nd pick in relation to Myles Garrett, that's in relation to Myles Garrett. I care about the 32nd pick. You can get a very good player there. Or if you trade down and accumulate assets, whatever. If you're asking me, am I trading for Myles Garrett if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles? The answer is no. But
if they did, you're saying it would take a lot more than we think.
Yes.
That's fair.
Certainly more than Bryce Huff in the 32nd pick.
Bryce Huff, the end of the first round, and we'll get Myles. Yeah, not happening. But I don't know. I don't think you need him. I do wonder what they're going to do with Sweat though, because if you don't sign Sweat, hypothetically, let's just say Sweat gets $20 million and leaves, which I think is probable at this point. I mean, I don't think he's going to be back. We'll see though. Now you have Nolan Smith, Bryce Huff, Brandon Graham. We don't really know. He kind of insinuated maybe he's going to return, but I don't know what kind of impact you're going to get from Brandon Graham next year. And Jalix Hunt. So what's your options then, John? Because there's not a lot of free agents. You're looking at trade or draft. And if you draft someone, you can safely assume they're not going to give you the production that Josh Sweat gave you last year. So you're going to rely on Jalix Hunt, Brandon Graham, or maybe Brandon Graham. I don't know if he's going to return or not. to kind of make up for some of that.
Yeah, I don't think he is going to return. So, basically you're talking about right now, they have to add multiple bodies at edge rusher. If they lose, I think Brandon's going to retire. And I think,
wonder if Sweat might be back.
I don't think he's going to be back, but my assumption is he's not going to be back. You don't hire Drew Rosenhaus, cannot explore your options. And I think he's going to get paid more by somebody else, basically. I think the Eagles are going to have walk-away numbers for all these players. And they'll have interest in bringing everybody back. But at some point, they're going to have a walk-away number. And I think a couple of those players are going to surpass that. And Josh, I think, is one of them. So, right now you're talking about, rebuilding on the edge a little bit. And nobody values the edge more than the Eagles. Nobody values the defensive front more than the Eagles. So if you're a betting man, wherever they pick, whether they end up picking 32nd or they trade out, I would bet heavily that first pick is going to be on the defensive front. It might even be defensive tackle, but either edge or defensive tackle. And then while you say there's not a lot of big names, that's what the Eagles do well. Not going to say you're going to find the Zach Bond of edge rushers,
right.
But that's what the pro scouting staff does. They look at the people. Does somebody have some upside? Maybe hasn't been used, maybe still has some ceiling to reach, and bring them in, and they get to play with Jalen Carter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and they get better. So to me, they're going to add multiple bodies in the offseason at the position. Are you going to hit the grand slam with Myles Garrett? Probably not, but a lot of people want to play for the Eagles now because of their success. So.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe that factors into it as well.
What do you think the Eagles are going to be focused on in the draft? I think it's a trench draft, John.
Oh, it's always a trench draft.
It's always no, but I mean, if you look at the last couple of years, there have been. I mean, even last year, right? You took Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. You've taken Devontae Smith. There's been now they took
but by that I mean, look,
Smith. I get it, but
they're like I said last year, they would have taken Platano, but he was out. He was gone.
Right.
They're always thinking about. What I'm saying is they're always thinking about the transfers.
Yeah, nobody should be upset at that. Nobody should be upset about that. No. That's why we just dominated the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're always thinking about the trenches. That doesn't mean if one player is drastically better. They always have a cluster of picks, and when you think about Devontae Smith, that year. They had Devontae was the last of that cluster. And then they moved up to get him because he was the last one. Sometimes they'll move down if the last of the cluster is gone. So you're dealing with 31 other teams. Very rarely do you get your first option unless you're picking number one, which you don't want to be picking. You're certainly not going to get your first option at number 32. So the Eagles are going to have a cluster of guys, and most of them are going to be probably on the defensive front and offensive line. Does that mean all of them? No. But last year, pretty concrete, they would have put Pautano if he was there, and he went 20th right before the Eagles. Eagles loved Quinyon Mitchell, though.
They got Quinyon at what, 22, right?
22.
Yeah.
Eagles love Cooper DeJean, as you saw on the video clips that are now kind of famous, where they thought the Rams were trading up to 39, and they thought the Rams were stealing Cooper DeJean from them, and they were very disappointed.
Right.
And Rams ended up taking Braden Fisk.
I remember the video that came out of how he fist pumped.
He was pissed off when the Rams traded up. He's like,
who'd they take there? Cameron Kitchens?
Now Braden Fisk,
Fisk, who's great.
They took very good player
in the third round.
Ironically, third. It was great. The Rams had the rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse.
Yep, and then they had Fisk.
Number 2 was Quinyon Mitchell. Number 3 was Braden Fisk, and number 4 was Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, so the Eagles and the Rams both had the right ideas.
Yeah. But the Eagles wanted Cooper and were thrilled. The Eagles were thinking about taking Cooper at 22nd. And if say Fautano went 20 and say Quinyon went 21, the Eagles probably would have taken Cooper DeJean at 22.
Yeah, which is crazy, but the draft board just fell perfectly for them, man.
Yeah. So you rarely, and that's why I always talk about contingencies with Howie. Howie's great at contingencies.
Yeah, you know something else I was thinking about too with the way the Eagles are set up right now, and it's not to say Howie hasn't been good because you got Nolan Smith in the end of the first round, but when you're a great team and you talk about this team wanting to go into an era of potentially competing at the very top for multiple years, you're gonna have to be good in late in the first round and in the latter rounds. Now, how we got Nolan Smith, how we got Milton Williams, how we got Cam Jurgens, how we got Cooper DeJean. So they've been really good, but you're gonna have to be consistently good. You're not going to be able to get Jalen Carter's at number 9. You're not going to be 10. You're not going to be able to get Devontae Smith in the top 10 anymore if you're a great team. So they're going to have to be good at drafting later in the first round, and it's harder to do when you're in that late first round.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's harder from that standpoint, but you can find good players throughout.
And
they've been good at it. And going back, because I know people get upset when we generally get clarity on these draft things, but you should know by now they tend to be right because I'm not pulling it out of my ass. For those who are upset about the Fautanu stuff, the draft was April 25th. And this again speaks to Howie's greatness of the contingency. Mekhi Becton was signed April 29th. He was not signed until they were unable to get one of the, and Fautanu was not the only one. There were that last draft was very offensive line heavy with guys who could maybe swing between guard and tackle. So the Eagles were intent on sort of finding the guy who could start at a guard, maybe swing out the tackle at some point. And Fautanu was one of those guys. And then after they were unable to secure that player, they went out and got Mekhi Becton, because he's always got that in the back of his mind. 2 days after the draft ended, they got Mekhi Becton.
Yeah.
That's what Howie does great.
Yeah, I'm sure Howie will have some ideas and contingency plans moving forward on that. Johnny Mack, I mentioned to Jeff, and I was giving the people the countdown last week. I'll continue that countdown today. 10 days till the NFL Combine. 23 days away from free agency starting. We will see who will return. Will Bond return? Will Milton return? Will Josh Sweat return? Will Becton return? And then that's 23 days away. And then the draft is 66 days away. So we're moving right along, brother. We got a lot of changes that are going to be upcoming with this Philadelphia Eagles football team. We'll see how it all shakes out. But very exciting time of the offseason begins. And we got there much quicker because we've been doing the regular season content, or the season content, all the way till February 17th.
Man, I'm way behind with draft stuff, man.
I know, me too, man. I started diving yesterday.
I am. That's what I'm going to do this week behind the scenes. I gotta catch up on draft stuff. But also, I should mention, I haven't mentioned, the Eagles signed their futures players, first group of futures players, brought back a number of guys who were on the practice squad at some point. 13 players. Tariq Castro Fields, I'll run them all down because I always like to talk about every player on this team. Elijah Cooks, who's a wide receiver. Ty Davis Price, you probably recognize, played week 18. Running back, he might be more meaningful if you lose Kenny Gainwell. Dallas Gant, all-ball linebacker, could be somebody to keep an eye on because you have Zach Ball, Nakobe Dean's injury. Oren Burks, you may lose. Danny Gray is probably the best practice squad player the Eagles have as a wide receiver. Gabe Hall, defensive tackle. KJ Henry, O'Shawn Mathis, edge rushers. Talked about, young guys. Those are guys who've been developing behind the scenes. Maybe they factor in. Nick Muse is a tight end who was on Minnesota, left them after their season ended. Eagles clearly want to get better at backup tight end. He could be a name to watch. Perry Nickerson's back, Andre Sam. Lakin Bakali, who is their international player, AJ Woods. Cameron Latu as well, who was a third-round pick from Alabama by San Francisco. They always take former San Francisco third-round picks.
Yeah, they do.
But the fact that they brought in Latu and Muse, now Minnesota's very deep at tight end with TJ Hawkinson and Josh Oliver and Johnny Muntz. But they thought Muse was an NFL player. He's just got caught up in a deep depth chart. Eagles want to get deeper at tight end. Those two players, Muse and Latu, might have a chance. So starts early, man. It starts early.
Tight end?
Yeah, they could draft the tight end. They, like I said, they want to get better at back.
A lot of people like that Tyler Warren kid from Penn State.
Oh, they ain't getting Tyler Warren. They ain't getting Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
He's going to be a first round pick way before the Eagles. So
even if he got to the Eagles, I don't know if they'd spend their first on a tight end.
Maybe I think they'd take him at 32, but that's because it would be such outrageous value.
Yeah,
but,
maybe.
Yeah, that ain't happening. So he's a Penn State guy, so should have brought him up with. He's too good. You can't get him. I mean, one of the things
we had Jeff talking about enough today. We can save Warren for next week.
He's not going to be in the realm where the Eagles can. And you're right when you talk about he might be a top 15 pick, so they're probably not going to take a tight end in the top 15. They're certainly not
trade up and get Warren. Yeah, I don't see that.
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
I could see him trading up and going for an edge rusher potentially, but I don't know. This is a deep draft with edges. A lot of edge rushers in this draft.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Eagles are going to add multiple bodies at edge rusher. I feel comfortable saying that.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm excited to, John, is I'm excited to get Ian Cummings back on the show, Rick Saratella, some of our draft guys that can help break down the board for us because those guys do such a good job.
I'm surprised because Abdul Carter's a Penn State guy as well. I'm surprised, and he's an edge rusher, so I'm surprised.
And he loves the Philadelphia Eagles. It's funny how much
he loves the Eagles, and I'm surprised people haven't. But he might go. He's top 5.
Yeah, he's top 5.
So not going to happen.
Man, that'd be nice. Abdul Carter to the Birds, not happening. No, I don't even want to say it because it's not happening here on the show. But yeah, Sue, appreciate your super chats, brother. Good stuff, everybody. Today, Johnny Mac, just a couple of minutes left on the show. For those here watching, I will do a little bit of Zander time today. All right, I have some updates. All right, I got a lot of people I still have to update. Crowley, Prince, Jason, and then some other giveaways I can do today. So we'll do that after. But Johnny Mac, just a couple of minutes left here on the show, brother. Your recap on Parade, on the show today, on the upcoming off-season turmoil and things that we will discuss, and finalizing this Monday edition of Birds 365.
Well, I'm glad everybody had fun at the Parade. They enjoyed it, but I'm also glad it's over. We can get back to football, which I like to do on this show, and that's even – so to mentioning those futures guys, because I want to make everybody aware of everybody involved with this team. I think the second thing we'll start to hear about the Eagles and offensive coordinator this week. They're going to have to bring in you have to, by league rule, satisfy the Rooney rule. So you're going to have to interview at least 2 candidates from outside the organization. And we'll see how quickly that moves.
Yeah. We expect that to start quick, right? Like today, we should be hearing something about interviews, right?
Well, it would stun me if it's not this week. So it might be tomorrow, but certainly early this week. And if not, people are going to start, what's going on? But also, obviously, New Orleans, keep in mind, I expect to lose Doug Nussmeier. I think everybody does. But, if Christian Parker, if things go a different direction, that would be a tough loss, I would say. So still keep an eye on what Kellen Moore is going to do with his staff as well. And then we're off, to the draft and free agency and yada
Johnny
yada.
Mac drafts at Lambeau Field, brother.
Yeah, I know. They had one of the best setups.
I might be going. Bringing Jacob out there and going.
One of the Green Bay, one of the Green Bay radio stations had a setup at Radio Row, and it was a replication of Lambeau Field. It was probably the best setup.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. I think I took a picture of it. Maybe I'll tweet it out. But
yeah, you should. Yeah, send me it. I'll post it up on the show. All right, Johnny Mac, great stuff, brother. We appreciate you doing it here today. Going to be interesting to see how everything plays out here, John. But look, obviously everybody's coming off a high with this season when you win the Super Bowl and you accomplish what you accomplish. But a lot of changes, a lot of things going on, a lot of things to address this offseason for the Eagles. So it's going to be important that Howie has another big offseason if this team wants to stay at the top.
Yeah, it's Howie season.
Yes, sir. I love Howie season.
Yeah,
Howie's world, we're just living in it.
Yeah. And he's the best in the business or close to it. So Eagles are in good hands when it comes to the offense. Like I said, they beat half the league before half of the league even hits the field. So that's a big advantage to have.
John, we appreciate you doing it, brother. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Tuesday's edition of Birds 365. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Zander. Thanks, everybody.
All right, there's John McMullen here joining us on Birds 365. Well done by Johnny Mac. Well done by Jeff Kerr today as well. All right, a little bit of fun today on the show. A lot of debates, a lot of good conversation about all sorts of things. You know, I do love poking the bear. I do love poking the bear a little bit. All right, maybe you guys don't like that, but I like that. All right, let me shut off this thing. Let me shut this off. All right, I got these. Let me pull these up. I'll pull these up, and I'll give you guys all an update, all right? I'll give everybody an update. All right, fun show today. Fun show today on Birds 365. I'm still, everybody, on cloud 9 from the parade. I don't care that John doesn't like the parade. I don't care that Jeff Kerr doesn't like the parade. I don't give a shit. I loved the freaking parade, all right? I love the parade. The parade was the most fun I've had in a long time. Talking with the great people. Slagger, you're the only one I'm pissed about because I saw you. We waved you on the show. You were within reach. You met my sister, my girlfriend. They got a video with you. You're the only one I didn't talk to, Slagger. I'm upset about that, brother. But I do appreciate you being there, Slagger. I wish we had a chance to talk and kick it around. But I just got on the show, Slagger, when you got there. And then I guess they wouldn't let you up, Slagger. That's BS. We got everybody else up, but you couldn't get up. So I'm upset about that. But Slagger, we will meet again, brother. We will meet again. All right. We will meet again. And by the way, everybody I met, I'm not going to be able to name everybody, but man, was it cool. All right. Man, was it cool. I just want to tell you guys. I mean, look, we've talked about this since my first year hosting on air, my first year doing all this. And just to be able to top off this season with that was, you couldn't script it any better than it went. You really couldn't. You couldn't script it better than it went for the end of my season. Having Flex hung out with us on the flatbed the whole show. Flex, that was a good view, wasn't it, dude? Being up there. Joe Whipp was with us the whole day. He hung out with us up on the flatbed truck. So Akbar showed up. Akbar was amazing. I kicked it around with Akbar for at least an hour, bro. Me and Akbar hung out for at least an hour. He helped us break down everything, carry stuff to our car. I mean, it was cool, man. I always tell you guys, the thing I love most about this business isn't talking football. It's not that stuff's cool, but it's the people, man. It's the people. And meeting you guys was really dope, man. I had so many people come up to me, and especially at the end. Bombay Trippy, I know you're in here. I met you. All sorts of people. Caleb. I'm blanking on some people's names. Mike Berghorst, Callie Baby. Callie Baby was there with his beautiful wife, his beautiful 2 kids, his beautiful family. Showed up. What a great guy he was. Callie Baby, if you're listening, I appreciate you, brother. It was really cool, man. It was really cool. I was on cloud 9 all weekend. I really was. I appreciated it all so much. So cool moment for sure. And that'll be just a start. that'll be just the start of what we're doing here on JAKIB Sports. I always tell you guys I'm just getting started, and that really felt like it. Really felt like it there, man, when doing that show out in Philly, right at City Hall, looking out on our city. What a beautiful city. Our city was beautiful on Friday, man. Oh, yeah, and then we topped it off with the Channel 6 interview. Philly Don, that was cool. With Annie McCormick, that was cool. Look at A-Track crying. Oh, man, A-Track. A-Track, the Birds are Super Bowl champions, and you're still crying. If you can't look in the mirror and acknowledge that you'll be crying no matter what happens in life, then I can't help you. I can't help you. I'm not going to cry with you when the Birds are Super Bowl champions. Yo, James Jones, you better watch yourself in this chat, my man. I seen you talking about my sister earlier. You better watch yourself, James. All right? You better watch yourself. I don't take any bullshit when it comes to my sister. Okay? No bullshit. You hear me, James Jones? You better watch yourself. No bullshit. All right, here's the update. Here is the update. I don't give a shit what you are. I saw your comment. I don't give a shit what you are. I don't give a shit what you are. Okay? All right, here's the update. Here is the update. As you can probably tell, that Super Bowl merch has been fucking flying off the shelf. So, this is what I have to do. I have to update everybody. All right? I got to update everybody because I'm a little behind. All right? I apologize. Before the Super Bowl, Monday, Tuesday last week, and Wednesday, I was like a madman getting the deliveries out, getting the giveaways out because I wanted everybody to get it before the Super Bowl. All right? Once the pendulum shifted to I wasn't going to get you there before the Super Bowl, all right, we had a very long week. All right, I had to prepare for the Super Bowl. We had the post-Super Bowl celebrations, reactions. I was on minimal sleep. We were doing a lot of shows. And then we had the parade where we were planning it down there. So I've been very busy, all right, as you guys probably know. I've been very busy. So there's a bunch of people I owe giveaways to. Not too many, but there is some people I owe giveaways to that I will update on now, all right? Prince Swayze, Carter jersey. My guy had nothing on Carter, okay? So what I can offer you, Prince, is a Saquon with the Super Bowl patch, okay? So I don't know if Prince is in here. It's not Jalen Carter, but that's what I got. You can take it or you can deny it, and I'll try and get you something else. But this is what I have right now. All right. Crowley. I know you emailed me. Crowley, are you in here? Is Crowley in here? Let me get to Crowley. Where's Crowley? Is he in here? Crowley, I know you emailed me. You like Cooper DeJean and Quinyon. Nothing on those two guys. All right. So same thing with you. I have a Saquon Super Bowl patch. Now, you can take it. You can deny it. If you deny it, I'll work on something with you. All right? I'll work on something with you. But all I could get was Saquon. All right? That's all they had, really, Saquon. So I have a bunch of Saquon jerseys with Super Bowl patches. All right? So, Crowley, I'll email you about that, or you can tell me what you want. Is James Jones James Jones, you're not crashing out in the chat because I called you out. Oh, my God. You guys are softies. I love how you guys come in here all day and call me out. And if I call one person out one time, it becomes a whole thing. I get emails. I get 100 comments. Relax, everybody. I got love for everybody. Chasen, one of our great winners last week. All right. Chasen, I was trying so hard to get Chasen a Devontae Smith jersey, and there was none of them. The only ones I could have got was a Kelly Green Devontae Smith, but it was the wrong size, and it didn't have a Super Bowl patch. So I was like, do I want to just get him a Saquon? So, Chasen, I have a Super Bowl Saquon jersey if you want that. All right. So that's where I'm at with the three guys I owe jerseys to. Joe High. Texas Tea, Bombay Trippy, and who else? Texas Tea, I said. Joe Ha, I said. Bombay Trippy, and Fleming. Fleming, I didn't get your JAKIB merch yet, but I owe you it. I owe you it. All right, so all those people I'm gonna handle this week on JAKIB merch. All of those people I will handle this week on JAKIB merch. So you got to forgive me, all right? Oh, bro, Brandon, I got another update. Brandon, I almost forgot. You're not gonna like this update, Brandon. You're not gonna like it. Brandon, you're not gonna be happy. You're not gonna be happy, Brandon. All right, so I packaged up a giveaway for Brandon. Okay, Brandon is in yeah, it came back to me. Why did it come back to me, Brandon? I don't want to wait. I'm not going to show that because it has your address up here. All right, it says return for export compliance, and the check mark is that the name and address on the customs form does not match the shipping label. So does that mean your name and address are different, Brandon? I don't understand what could have been wrong with this, but it cost me 40 fucking bucks. So I want to go back to the post office and tell them to ship it. If they make me spend another 40 bucks, I'm going to be a mad person. That'll be 80 bucks deep on shipping one fucking jersey. So I don't know why they checked that. All right. I don't know why they checked that, but I have your jersey here. I got to get it back to you. I was hoping you got it, and then I got it on Saturday. It arrived at my door, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's Trump and Canada's fight. Maybe they don't want anything coming in. So I'll email you a picture of it, Brandon, and we can figure it out. All right, we can figure it out. I'll also research it and ask the Michael Mulvey says 40 bucks to ship a jersey. Most aren't 40 bucks. It's just international, brother. International. Yeah, he goes, yeah, you're right, Casey or Brandon, because it says you have to put a description for what it is to get it through customs, and it says Eagles football jersey. Eagles football jersey is what it says. So maybe it was a KC fan. It's possible. All right. So I do have one giveaway today. All right, I'm going to give away a Saquon jersey. Is Prince in the chat? Has Prince showed up today yet or no? Prince is still hungover. Who else do I owe a jersey to outside of Crawley, Chasen, and Prince? I think that's it. Fleming, you got your jersey, but you didn't get your JAKIB merch. I know that. Chasen's got to get his JAKIB merch. Bombay Trippy's got to get his JAKIB merch. Joe High's got to get his JAKIB merch. And that's it. Oh, Zach Lambert, yours is coming too. All right, Zach, I apologize if you're listening. All right, I didn't ship it yet. I was supposed to ship it on Wednesday, and then a bunch of shit came up at the parade. All right, so I'm way fucking behind. All right, we had too busy of a week though for you guys to get on my ass. I don't want to hear no complaints. All right, I got the first 70 giveaway winners were timely. The people who won during Super Bowl week. Look at Brandon wants to upgrade his jersey now. Brandon, I'm not unpackaging your jersey. No, and then I have to go and buy a new one. I'm not going to go buy a new one. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that for you, Brandon. Yo, Dakota, thanks for becoming a legend, man. Thanks for becoming a legend. You did it on, I think, Friday, Dakota, or whenever you did it. I do want to thank you, man, because I didn't have a chance to thank you because we were live down on you're good, Eagle Nest, or Brandon. I'm going to call you Brandon because that's how I know you, but I do like your new name, Eagle's Nest. Dakota, thank you, brother. Thank you for becoming a legend. Make sure you guys get your memberships in, all right? We're going to be doing stuff all off season. And the one thing we're going to do, all right, that Krause teased, all right, you guys probably heard that. We're going to send one of our members to the draft. Okay, we're going to send one of our members to the draft. So that'll be one of our biggest giveaways. We will send a member to the draft with a flight, a ticket to the draft, and a hotel. Everybody booked. It'll be the only thing you'll have to pay for will be your food. Okay, so your hotel will be booked, your plane will be booked, and your ticket to the draft will be acquired. All right, so we're gonna do that for one of our people. Yeah, I'm trying to do a lot, man. I'm gonna try and do a lot. So everybody, be patient with me. All right, this has been a very busy couple of weeks for me, and I'm not complaining about that. By the way, I view being busy as a beautiful thing. It's a privilege to be busy. It's a privilege to be busy. It's a privilege to have things to work on, things to do. So I don't view it in a negative way, but I am telling you guys, you got to be a little patient with me on that. All right. So we will do a giveaway today. Crowley, are you in the chat? Crowley, do you want me to continue to work on a Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell jersey, or are you go with Saquon? Because I can hook you up with Saquon. Prince, same thing. I still have a Cooper DeJean to give away. It's not a Super Bowl patch, but it's a 2XL. So we can give this away. This is for Zach Lambert. Zach, I apologize. I'm shipping it today. I promise. All right. That's Crowley, Prince. All right. And I have these two, Crowley, Prince, and Chasen. I'm going to put these three aside. I'm going to put those aside. Yeah, the drafts are so cool, Eagle Nest. They're really cool. I've never been to one, so I'm trying to go myself. All right? I'm trying to go myself. By the way, I do not think Cooper DeJean is going to be changing his number. I saw that in the chat before. I don't think Cooper DeJean is changing no damn number. Did Crowley, I see you in here. Did you answer me? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. This is the truth. Philly 07, it costs to be alive. Yes, it does. I'm grateful to be alive. That's all I need in life, 07. If I can breathe air, I'm good, bro. If I can breathe air, I'm good. I'm blessed and thankful to be breathing air. All right. Crowley, I'll send you the Saquon then, man. If you're good with that, I'm good with that. All right. It makes my life a little easier, but I try and get people what they like the best I can. He might if we trade Nolan for Myles Garrett. We ain't trading no fucking Nolan Smith. Fucking crazy. Stop that. I don't want Myles Garrett that bad. Not when you're already the number one overall defense. Not when you're the number one overall defense. Is that what Coop was? Or was, I guess Coop was 3 in college. Is that what he was? Yeah, we're not doing that. It's Brett. What's up? It's Brett. Appreciate you, bro. Hunt jersey would be cool. That's true. Yo, Eagle Nest. Actually, one of my only jerseys that I have right now, because I told you I'm not really a jersey guy. I love the coat. You guys saw the coat I was rocking, which was pretty cool. I love the coats. I love the sweatshirts. I love stuff like that. I'm not a huge jersey guy, but I have a number 2 Jalen Hurts jersey, which was his rookie year jersey. I have a number 2 Jalen Hurts jersey because I love them because we were both freshmen together at Alabama. So, I watched him all through his college career. So, I was one of the people who was weirdly happy that they drafted him, even though I understood why it was a complex issue. I did understand that, all right? I got no voice, by the way. You guys can tell. You can hear my voice. My voice was fine all weekend. I woke up this morning. I'm like, oh, shit. All them Eagles chants at the parade might have got to me finally. All right. I'm going to do a giveaway today. We're doing a Saquon Super Bowl jersey. Who's going to become a member? We got to get one new member. We don't have one new member today. I'm giving away a Saquon Super Bowl jersey. It's got the Super Bowl patch on there. It's the midnight green that we wore during the Super Bowl. All right? Yeah, but that's what I need, man. I need some tea with honey. I need some tea with honey. That's a good call by you. It's a good call by you. Any of the grays in the chat want to become a member today? A-Track, come on, quit fucking crying, A-Track. All you fucking do, A-Track, is you show the fuck up and you fucking cry. Look, another fucking message of you fucking crying. Who raised this guy? Who raised you to cry all damn day? Who raised you to cry all day about everything? Holy shit. I cannot relate to you at all on anything. Most people, I can find something to relate with them on. Who the hell raised you, my man? Why are you owing? The Eagles are Super Bowl champions, and this guy's still fucking crying. I mean, what more? We could be 3-time Super Bowl champions. You still gonna fucking cry? Oh my gosh. Holy shit. Eagle Nest, thank you, bro. There we go. There we go. Look at that. And Kenny Sprague as well with the gifted membership. Thank you, guys. Eagle Nest, that's really dope, brother. 5, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Vulnerable Vitality. Can't donate members on my phone. I'll have to do this. That works. Appreciate you, bro. $10 super chat from Vitality. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it so much. Tone Bone says, how do I enter? You got to become a member on the channel, brother. So it's $5 a month to become a member. All right. I'm going to be doing some legend giveaways as well this week. So stay tuned for those. All right. We'll be doing some legend giveaways this week as well. And as I mentioned before, I am working to figure out how to send one member to the draft. That's something that we want to do. All right. That is something we want to do. So we're working on that now. I've already started to look into it. The draft is, what did I tell you guys? The draft is what, 66 days away? Yeah, 66 days away. Okay, 66 days away from the NFL draft. Tony Del Vecchio becomes a member. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, brother. Rico Mark becomes a member. Thank you, Rico Mark. All right, so we're getting some love. I appreciate everybody for being here. I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you, Tone. I appreciate you, bro. Tony Del Vecchio. I like that name. That's a nice Italian name right there, man. That's a nice Italian name. Love what you're doing. Love from Vegas. Tone Bone, thank you, brother. Did you catch any of our parade day coverage? All right. Did you send any of our parade day coverage? It's Brett says, send me Zander. It'll be about 3 times the price, Brett, because you're in Australia. All right. Because you're in Australia. But if you win, I'll do it. 66 days from the NFL draft is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. What happened? A-Track ran? Nah, he's still in here. He'll show up, watch. He'll show up. I mean, we're literally, the team is Super Bowl champions, and the guy is still crying. What more do we need? What more do we need for A-Track to not be crying? I don't know. I couldn't come up with something. You know, if you asked me a month ago, what could we get for these people to stop crying? I'd say maybe a Super Bowl will get it done. Maybe a Super Bowl will get it done. That didn't get it done. Man, Keith, this would be my next response. This would be my next response. Super Bowl 60. Maybe we have to win that, but my assumption will now be we'll get to that. We'll win that. We'll be a dynasty in the making, and we'll still have people fucking crying. People are always going to cry. People are always going to cry. All right. I don't know what he's crying about, Ryan. I didn't even give him the courtesy to read it because it's so fucking stupid. I've been reading them all year long. I'm done reading them. It's like Pumper. I had to give Pumper some business today. I can't believe you're crying about Eli Manning. No, bitch. The same thing that you're arguing about Eli Manning is going to be something I guarantee you we deal with in the future with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts could win 3 Super Bowl rings, and you're going to have people in the NFL world who say he doesn't deserve Hall of Fame because he had good teams. Bitch, he beat Tom Brady twice in the fucking Super Bowl. And if I'm not mistaken, in one of those games, he threw 75% completion at 300 yards with no turnovers. Like, I don't give a shit about his 500 record. The pinnacle of this sport. You don't have parades on Broad Street for good winning records. You don't have parades for passing yards. You don't have parades for a good touchdown interception ratio. Okay? He did it twice versus the greatest player to ever play the NFL. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't give a shit what you think of Eli Manning. All right? Pumper, terrible take by you. Absolutely terrible fucking take by Brian Pumper. One of the worst you'll ever hear. And that's tough because the guy's had a lot of them this year. He's had a lot of bad takes this year. Dank Bird Gang, what's up, brother? Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. That saying that never gets old. Go Birds. So proud of this team. I'm so with you, man. It never gets old. You know, Dank, if you watched our parade day coverage, I kept saying that. I kept saying that on the air. I'm like, you're a Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. You're a Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. I kept saying it, man. You're right. It feels good. You're right. Tone Bone checks in. What's up, Tone Bone? Big Z, do me a favor and tell Cilio he gives me a headache, but I can't stop watching him. Well, I would tell you he'll be happy with that. Tone Bone, he will be very happy with that comment. He will be very happy with that comment. All right, because that's part of what makes him great. He is entertaining, okay? He is very entertaining. He's very entertaining. And to his credit, you know, this is what I love about Cilio. Cilio, what was Cilio's take all year, okay? No matter what we did, all year, Cilio said, prove it in the biggest moment. If you don't win the Super Bowl, it's all for naught. We won the Super Bowl, and Cilio spent last week giving us credit. He gave Jalen credit. He gave Nick credit. He gave Howie credit. He gave everybody credit. Now, he wanted to turn the page quick. He wanted to turn the page very quick. All right? He wanted to turn the page quick, but when they proved him wrong, when they did what he wanted them to do, he gave the team credit. And I think that's good by me. That's good by me. I know there's going to be a litany of people that want to replay all of his takes from all year. And I get it. I get it. Yeah, how about that, man? CNN with putting Cilio on. That was some good stuff. That was some really good stuff. All right, thank you all, by the way, for the memberships. Kev the Creator got gifted. Chaotic Green, Jason Fairchild, Dwayne, Fake Man, Bear Pig, and who else? Alfredo. All right, so thank you for the gifted members. And then we got Philly D just became a member. So thank you, guys. All right, good adding on members today. We appreciate everybody becoming a member. We appreciate everybody becoming a member. What I'm going to give away is a Super Bowl Saquon jersey. I got it in XL. All right. And I could probably get another size for you if XL doesn't work. I could probably get another size for you if XL doesn't work. All right. Philadelphia has been going insane on the merch. All right. You guys have seen this. Philadelphia is going insane on the merch. They're buying so much merch. I called my guy. He's like, bro, I'm selling merch like you wouldn't fucking believe. Oh, look, Dick Track showed back up. Yo, Dick Track. Fuck you, Dick Track. I don't owe you a thing, you nerd. I don't owe you a thing. Ashley, thank you so much. Congrats on your success. Great job. It's not about all that, Ashley. I just am enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the people. All right. And it was a great season. You know, Ashley, closing the season out with that parade, to be down there in the middle of the city with my family and some of our great supporters overlooking, you know, all of the great Eagles fans. And by the way, our beautiful city. Our city looked so beautiful on Friday. Our city looked so beautiful on Friday. That was an unreal moment. It really was. It was a really cool moment to end the season on that note. It was fitting. It was fitting is how I thought of it. I really did. I thought it was fitting. This is only the start. I've been doing this for less than a year. So I'm really just getting started. I'm really just getting fucking started. So I appreciate everybody. One of the things I love the most too is, I'll say this, is one of the things I love the most is I love the people. Like I'm not as fascinated by the big names, and like I like relating with and connecting with the common man, the guys I shook hands with on Friday, the people who came to my parade float, who deal with the same things I deal with on a day-to-day basis, who have the same, intraday things that go up and down and the same problems and some of those things. I like relating with that. Those people are who I like to talk to. As cool as it is to talk about athletes and, famous people, I don't give a shit about that. I like talking to the people. I really do. I like talking to the people, the common folk. The common folk. That's what I love. That's what I love. And I think that's why I love Friday so much, because I got a chance to, to meet and hang out with a lot of the people, a lot of the great people, Meeting athletes is cool. It's not that cool, though. It's not that cool. It's not that cool. Having a conversation with the great people is far more important to me. All right, let me do the giveaway now. I will do the giveaway now on the show. All right. I know you guys have been waiting for 25 minutes. If you're new to Zander time, you better get used to it. All right. Because, in fact, 25 minutes might be record speed. 25 minutes could very well be record speed. It could be record speed for a Zander time. Boy, I haven't done this in a couple of days. Let me get everything situated. All right. Let me get everything situated over here. Hell yeah, Dakota. Got the bleeding green hoodie on. Yo, I'm working on some new merch too for the off season. All right. I got some new merch. Coming out. And I want to see. I want to see what happens there. I got some good ideas. I've been teasing you guys, been telling you guys I have some big off season ideas. Well, I certainly do. And I'm going to be implementing all of those. Ideas now with a little bit more time on our hands. And, there's moments to work in the business. And when you're on a Super Bowl run, you work in the business. And then there's moments to kind of zoom out and work on the business. And that's what I'll be doing moving forward here. Yeah, got to get something like that. That's a great idea. Belt to ass. That's a great idea. What's longer, Zander time or the Philly mayor speech? Bird Gang. I was amongst the people, so I didn't even hear her speech. What I was trying to do, though, Bird Gang, I was trying to get her on my show because we were right outside City Hall. I'm like, someone find the mayor for me. But they had moved over. They had moved over to the steps, because I guess she was doing a speech down there. So, all right, this is pretty cool. We got a lot of new members. I know. I saw this. I saw this. Dude, they hit the mayor with a wrap it up chant. I know. It's cool. That was funny. I love Philly. Man. I would have been telling her to shut the fuck up too. I mean, come on. Was it her or did she get bad advice? Did nobody tell her, babe, this day's not for you? This day's not for you. I mean, come on, honey. I don't even have, not to get political. I don't want to go into that. All right. But did nobody tell her this day's not about you? I thought she was a rock star when she handled the fallout to the EU, however she spelled the Eagles or whatever it was. Not everybody could handle that properly. I thought she did a good job. She was kind of self-depreciating. She understood that she fucked it up and thought she did a good job. And then I was impressed with the way she handled the plane crash in the Northeast. That's not an easy thing to handle. All right. She was transparent. She dealt with the administrations from all different angles. Thought she did good. But on Friday, come on, honey. Did ain't nobody tell you that this is about the team, not you? Nobody told her that? TK, you were down there by the stage. It is. It's a political thing, Zio. You're right. It is a political thing. Politicians love thinking they're the most important people in the world. They really do. All of them on all sides. I don't give a shit who you vote for. By the way, I've never cared who you guys vote for. it doesn't bother me that people don't think like I do politically. I think that's one of the problems in the world today. Somebody doesn't think like you and you're like, think they're a bad person. Like, bro, we got a lot more in common than you think. All of us, no matter who you vote for. All right, let's do this giveaway. Sorry. Let me find it. Yes, the picker is back. The highly questioned picker is back. All right, this is the first Super Bowl jersey we're giving away. Although Crowley's going to win a Super Bowl jersey, Prince will win a Super Bowl jersey, and Chasen will win a Super Bowl jersey. So not the first, but this is the first drawing we're doing for a Super Bowl jersey. If you're not a member, let me know. Okay? You should become a member now. We did have a couple people drop off. We're down to 422 on the members. 422 on the members. I figured people would flake off after the season. But there's no reason to. We're going to be giving you content. We're going to be giving you content all off season. I'm going to be doing giveaways all off season. We're going to be giving away a trip to the draft. All right. And the other thing I'm working on is I'm trying to do giveaways for the next football season too with tickets. All right. It's a little hard to do that, but we're going to try and make that happen as well. We're going to try and make that happen as well. All right. All right, let's pull this up. All right, here it is. The highly questioned giveaway selector is back. The giveaway selector is back. Who is becoming a member? We have a bunch of new members today. Joey D, thank you, brother. You're on here. Thanks for becoming a member, my man. Tony Del Vecchio. I love that name. That's a nice Italian name. All right. Tony, my mother's maiden name, Conti, C-O-N-T-I, Conti. Okay. My uncle, Uncle Tony. My other uncle, Uncle Frank. All right. My mom is 100% Italian. So I love a great Italian name. And Tony Del Vecchio is about as good as you're going to get. That's about as good as you're going to get. All right. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, brother. Rico Mark. What's up, Rico? Rico, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. And then Eagle Nest, gifted 5. Eagle Nest, thank you, man. Yo, Eagle Nest, I'm going to email you today, bro, because we got to figure this out. All right. We got to figure this out. The one thing I didn't get, Brandon, was name and address on the customs form does not match the shipping label. So I don't know your living situation. Is there something like maybe you live with other people who might be because I had this issue, Eagle, domestically too, where I shipped a jersey to somebody and their name wasn't, I guess, the owner of the house, which is weird, but the post office didn't deliver it. And he had to go and pick the jersey up at the post office and I had to clear it. It was weird. So I don't know. Maybe Brandon Howard is not the name on the home or something. I don't know, but I'm going to figure that out with you. So we'll figure that out. And Kenny Sprague gifted a membership. So thanks all you guys for all that support. That means a lot. I appreciate that very much. Now, Brian Pumper's on the shit list. All right. Curtis, what I have to figure out is how to translate it to a Mac because it wouldn't even let me open it, Curtis. Wouldn't even let me open it. I was also a little bit busy in the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, custom sucks. They do. Yes, they do. Especially when I think that, yeah, KCA, that's what might be going on. They might be like, fuck you. You're not sending an Eagles jersey to Canada. All right. I'll look up, Curtis, how to open that if it's an exe file. I'll look it up. All right, here we go. This is our names, and we're giving away a Saquon jersey today, all right? I have it in XL, but if you need a different size, I could probably get it for you in a different size. Most likely can get it for you in a different size. I didn't get any other Super Bowl merch. They were really out of everything. Now, what I'll probably do is I'll go to the team store and get some stuff. But that shit's, All right, here we go. How many shuffles are we doing? How many shuffles should we do? I don't like 3 shuffles. I don't like 3 shuffles. Can someone tell me how many shuffles to do? Yeah, I'm not gonna. I know, Josh. I tried. I'll look it up. 59 shuffles? Nah, that's too long. I'm not doing that. But Super Bowl 59, I get where you're coming from. Philly 07. Philly 07. Let me dispute you right now. Let me dispute you right now. Here's a large. Here's a medium. Here's another medium. And I had a small, but somebody won it. Somebody already won it. Somebody already won it. You know, somebody always has something to fucking bitch about. Yo, 07, hear me out, all right? Last week, 2 weeks ago, before the Super Bowl, I went and got 10 jerseys to give away before the Super Bowl. 10. Okay? I got every size. I got small, I got medium, I got large, I got XL, I got 2XL. Okay? I gave people their pick. You know what jerseys went first? You know what jerseys went first, 07? The large and the extra large. Every time. I was left with mediums and 2XLs that nobody wanted. In fact, my winners requested different sizes. So I had to go back and buy more larges and extra larges. So at this point, 07, I'm trying to mitigate my exposure, all right, and getting something that works for most people. You fucker. All right, we got a new member. Let me add him in. We're going back. Kirk. Thank you, Kirk. I appreciate you, Kirk. Let's add you on, brother. Kirk Adkins. I appreciate you, Kirk. Not to be confused with Kirk Cousins. We got Kirk Adkins in here. We got 5 shuffles, 2 shuffles, 5, 7, 5, 6. Let's go 6 for Smitty. 40, no. 11, always open, not bad. 11 shuffles, not bad. 26, too many. 69, too many. 6 shuffles, I like that. 2 for the number of rings, that's a good one. 1 for MVP Hurts. Sue, good one. 0 for Huffle Schnufflegus. Kirk, thank you, man. Finally had to show love to JAKIB Zander. Thanks, Zander, for the great content. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. I'm just giving you shit, man. I'm just giving you shit. I'm just giving you shit. But, Philly 07, I've given away a lot of stuff this year, man. We've had over 70 giveaway winners. All right. 70 giveaway winners. You're talking about $1,500 in shipping alone I've spent. All right. All right. So I have taken that data, 07, and I have compiled it, and I put it in the chat GPT, and I said, tell me what trends stick out from this, okay? Tell me what trends stick out. It says large and extra large. All right? So 007, I'm not mad at you, but I'll tell you to fuck off. All right, brother? All right? All right? I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. All right, let's do this giveaway winner. Let's do the winner. Start. I think we're doing 6. I like 6 for Smitty. Although 1 for Jalen might be worth it too. 1 for Jalen might be worth it too. Let's go with our Super Bowl champs hat too. Do you guys like these hats? Do you like the Super Bowl hats? Do you like the Super Bowl hats? I love the hat. The one thing I saw online, somebody crying because they were gray. And they're like, gray's the worst color ever. And I'm like, it's tough to disagree with. Yeah, there's like subtle gold. Very subtle gold in the word champions. All right, you guys like them. Yeah, I like this one better. I'm not going to lie. I like this one better. This is the conference championship, so not as good, but I like the hat better. I do like the black hats. I've always been better. I prefer black hats, but Smitty is cool. He's a cool ass dude. Uh-oh, what's going on? There we go. Yeah, black one's cool. All right, I'm going to try and get more. I'm going to try and get more stuff. Don't worry. Don't worry. 3 for Nolan. That's good. I think I'm going to go 1 for MVP. I think I'm going to go 1 for MVP. I'm going to go 1 for the MVP. Yeah, Slager, that's true. You bought the gray JAKIB Gray hat. Twice now you bought the JAKIB Gray hat. So thank you for your support. Slager, I got to say, man, I'm freaking pissed, bro. All these moments that we've had together on the chat, all these moments that you've had supporting this channel, and I'm so thankful, by the way, for your support. And you were, what were you, 8 feet away from me? 10 feet away from me? And I didn't get a chance to shake your hand and meet you. That's fucked up. I'm going to put that on me, Slager. That's going to be my fault, bro. I'm going to put that on me. I'm going to put that on me, Slager. You can blame me for that. I should have fucking took the headset off, told the people on the stream to wait, came down and shook your hand. That's what I wish I did, but I didn't. And that's my apologies. All right, let's do the Super Bowl jersey. Confirm. I'm doing one shuffle. One shuffle for Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts. By the way, I know I'm going to make you wait again. All right, wait. Can we call out business malpractice? Can we call out business malpractice? How the fuck does Air Jordan put Jalen Hurts in the coolest sweatshirt you'll ever see, all right, with Love Hurts, with the Jordan logo that he wears at the Super Bowl parade, and they put up an ad on YouTube that has 10, 15 million views, and they don't drop the fucking sweatshirt? Drop the sweatshirt. You would have sold millions. I mean, are you fucking kidding me, Jordan? Are you kidding me? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Man. You put up that unreal ad, which was, by the way, one of the coolest ads ever. Then you have Jalen wear the sweatshirt, and it looked sick. Classic commercial, Keith. I'm with you. One of the coolest commercials I've seen. And then they don't drop it. I've been on Jordan website day after day looking for this damn thing. All I want to do is get the Jordan thing. Nothing. What are they fucking doing? I don't get it. Yeah, the Love Hurts. I mean, I told you guys I'm not a big jersey guy because I just don't. I like the Eagles more than I like individual players, and that was one thing I'd be like, I would rock that Jalen Hurts merch. That Love Hurts hoodie was awesome hoodie. So I don't know. Will they ever drop it? I mean, the in a way the hype is gone. I mean, I don't want a JAKIB brand. I don't like the bootlegs. I must have gotten 50 DMs. Oh, here's the bootleg. I'm like, fuck your bootleg. I don't want it. I want the Jordan one. Anyway. All right, here we go. Giveaway winner. Yeah, they missed the Josh Bay. That's their fault. Giveaway winner. Saquon. Super Bowl jersey. Yes, it's the midnight green. Guys, we've now won 2 Super Bowls in the midnight green. Is it going to become more iconic than Kelly? What do you think? Saquon 2-6 Super Bowl start. Is Kelly more now less iconic than midnight? Maybe. 4, 3, 2, 1. William Galbraith. William, are you here? And by the way, you must be present. Absolutely. You must be present. Is Willie here? Gonna have to win one in white next year. Yeah, I agree. I don't know, Eagle Nest. This has never happened. Well, Eagle Nest, I don't know if you're aware of this. I will tell you this. The owner is not a Kelly Green guy. All right. I know that. The owner is not a Kelly Green guy. The owner is not really a Kelly Green guy. So I don't anticipate he would ever let that happen. I mean, how long did it take him just to give us just to get one game in Kelly Green, you know? Yeah, his wife changed it to midnight. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, he's not a Kelly guy. You know, Kirk. You know what I have to find, Kirk? I got to go deep in my closet, man. I had the Jalen Hurts number 2 jersey, rookie jersey. I don't know if you can buy them anymore. But I would love to do that. I have my number 2 jersey. Oh, by the way, I told you guys about that clip, and it looks like William Galbraith is out. Is he out? He's out. Dirty Air says, I'll say it. Midnight's better. Yeah, he doesn't like it. I know, Joe. I had that on good authority that somebody told me he's not a big Kelly Green guy. Yeah, which is fine. He can like whatever he wants. He can like whatever he wants. He can like whatever. No, Nugget, no. Make the black the primary. No, that is such an alternate jersey. Dude, we're fucking Eagles. We're green. Stop with that. Stop with that. If you want to debate greens, that's fine. Make the black the primary jersey. That's lame. Black is an alternate uniform. It's an alternate uniform. Black should be the alternate. Yeah, it was. It was his mission. That's what I want to it. Not the white helmets, but I like the white Kelly Green that they like that Randall wore, the jersey. That would be sick. Yeah, Michael, I'm kind of with you. I wasn't a huge fan of it at first, but it's definitely become iconic when you raise 2 Lombardi trophies wearing it, right? Yeah, agreed, Slagger. We're the fucking Eagles. I mean, come on with that. Come on with that. I don't want that. I'm not even a huge fan of the black helmet. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not a huge fan of the black helmet. I never have been either. It's been one of those things that everybody kind of oohs and ahs over, but never been too much about it. All right, new winner. Let's get a new winner. Here we go. By the way, can I just tell you all one more time how much I love and appreciate each one of you guys? This has been the greatest year of my life probably because of what's happened at JAKIB and because of the evolution of JAKIB and how it all ended. And, you know, there's an old saying that you never know like why something's happening until you kind of get to the end and you have hindsight. But, you know, God's plan was perfect in this last year. And there's a lot of changes. We've had a lot of uncertainty. A lot of different things have come and gone. You know, a year and a week ago today, there was a big thing that, you know, kind of tried to squash JAKIB. And to be up there on Friday in that moment, a year after what happened, and to be able to take in the city like I did and talk to the people like I did, that was a cool moment. That was a cool moment, man. So I can't thank you all enough, man. I love all of you guys. So thank you so much, man. I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. I really do. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. God's plan for sure. Jody just left, man. His contract expired and he wanted more money. What happened to Jody Mack? Jody Mack wanted to be paid way too much money to do a 2-hour show a day. All right, that's all. His contract ended. But, Kirk, I'm not mad about it because here I am, Kirk. Here I am, Kirk. Here I am, Kirk. I am right here. And now it's my show. All right. And I'm happy with that. So, no, Jody, that's all. It was just business. Contract ended. We couldn't come to an agreement and we moved on. All right, here we go. Confirm. 1 shuffles. 2 shuffles. Oh, wait, I did 2. Do I go back? Now, we'll do 2 for the Super Bowl championship. We'll do 2 for 2 rings. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bruce Dickness. I don't even know that name. Actually, I think I do. I don't know. It's hard to keep track of everybody. I try and do my best I can, though. I do keep a pretty good track. You know, I had one guy, by the way, Arthur Humler. Arthur, if you're listening, Arthur was awesome. Arthur was freaking awesome. Let me show you. Oh, you know what I want to do in this Zander time? There's something I want to do, and we'll get the giveaway. If Arthur's here, he'll win it. I don't know if or Bruce. Is Bruce here? If he's here, he'll win it. All you guys saying next, you're gonna have to be patient. You're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to be patient. I do want to show you guys some of all the awesome pictures. All right. I got so many great photos from the day. So many great photos from the day. You know, there's me with Callie Baby and Mike Burkhorst. That's Callie Baby's daughter on the right. I guess I'm going to have to put it on the screen because doing this isn't going to be the best method. Doing this won't be the best method. There's me hanging out with our viewers in my Super Bowl jacket. Pretty sick jacket. All right. I got so many good pictures. Look, there's the behind the scenes of me with the 6ABC lady. She was interviewing me. No, that's not Bruce. That's Bruce Banner. He's not here. Look how excited Annie McCormick was to interview me. She was more phased than I was, bro. Look at me. I'm calm, cool, collected. Annie's out here all psyched up. Annie's out here all jacked up. All right. Annie McCormick. Yeah, this guy gave me the best hug ever. Look at this guy. I loved it. This guy was so freaking cool. He gave me a big ass hug, bro. He was so cool, man. He was so cool. I love the people. I really do. It was really dope. Oh, here he is. Here's Arthur. There's Arthur, me meeting him and his wife. I thought I had a picture of Arthur and I. I do. I posted it up yesterday. There's me and Arthur. So Arthur said to me, when he met me, he's like, you know who I am? I'm like, I know exactly who you are. Your comments are iconic on the Cilio show. All right. So I knew exactly who he was, but I get it. Not everybody, would think I knew him from the chat, but I always tell you guys, I'm the all-seeing eye of the JAKIB chat, man. I see everything. Arthur Humler, baby. Yes, still season. Arthur Humler is great. He was awesome. He was really cool. Everybody I met was cool, man. Everybody I met was cool. Really was. Really was. And I told you guys that Joe Whipp, I don't know if Joe's still in here, but I did want to thank him, man. He gave us so much freaking help. I'm telling you, he really did. He did anything that we needed help with. He was helping Jerry out with everything Jerry needed, who was the owner of the big flatbed truck. So big thanks to Joe Whipp. Very cool guy. And Akbar as well. Akbar at the end helped me carry. So, and we got there at 4:40 in the morning, me and my dad. We pulled up 4:40 in the morning so we could get everything set up, obviously, before the city went mayhem. So we couldn't get the truck up there after because there was shit everywhere, people everywhere. So we had to carry all of the equipment, the broadcast equipment, the table, the computers, everything to the car, the big eagle sign that we had. And Akbar helped us carry it all. So we have great people, man. We really do. We got great people here. Great freaking people on this channel. And I love each and every one of you. All right. All right, let's do this. Another winner. Vulnerable Vitality. Keep pushing, Z. You've done great. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. That's one thing I can guarantee. I can guarantee you I will keep pushing. I will keep pushing. I will continue to connect with the people because it's always been about that for me. It's not about how big can I get. It's not about how famous can I get. I don't give a shit about that. I do not want to be famous. I want great people. I want a great community. I want to connect with the listeners. All right. And that's what I like. That's what fuels me. That's what hanging out with, hugging, and meeting JAKIB members was way more important than if I got an interview with Jalen Hurts or if I reached 100,000 subscribers. None of that shit is important to me. All right. None of that shit's nearly as important to me as the other stuff. So it's always been about the people for me first. All right. It's always been about the people for me first. So I can't thank you all enough. All right. Here we go. Oh, no, I'm going to do a shuffle. Hold on here. All right. Here we go. One shuffle for Jalen Hurts. Start. There you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wayne the Pain. Wayne, are you here? Wayne's been here all the time, all the day. Come on, Wayne. You gotta be here. I love Wayne the Pain. I love Wayne the Pain, and he deserves this Super Bowl jersey. He really does. He deserves it. He deserves it. Wayne, Eagle Nest. That's a cool comment. Thank you, bro. You know, Eagle Nest, you say this, and I'll give you a response to it here. You've surpassed Philly 500 for the best Eagles channel. You know, Wayne or Eagle Nest. I appreciate that comment, but you know, it's not about that. It really isn't about that for me. And I love Philly 500. I love everybody that does something. For me, I just want to build JAKIB. You know, I don't care about whatever other people are doing. I really don't. I want to build JAKIB. I want JAKIB to be great. I want you guys to watch JAKIB every day and leave saying, I'm happy I watched JAKIB today. All right. That's my goal. That is my freaking goal. But I do appreciate the comment. You know, people always love to talk about the subscribers, by the way. And I'll give you guys a little bit of context. All right. I'll give you guys a little bit of context on subscribers. You can add, there's multiple ways to grow on social media. All right. Many people will add thousands of subscribers in a week. Okay. That's great, but that's not a sense of community. So I don't compare ourselves to a channel that has a different style of content that's adding subscribers faster than me, because I don't think that's the same thing. People that subscribe here, they hang out there, and we become a community, as we've called it. It's a much different style of growth. It's a much different style of growth. But again, everybody's going to do their own thing, and that's why I'm focused on JAKIB. Oh, James M. I'm not going to read that comment, but yes, I agree. Is Wayne the Pain not here? Damn, man. You know, Wayne the Pain is catching up on sleep, guys. Because he commented to me last week. I haven't slept all week because I've been so nervous about the Super Bowl. So maybe he's catching up. Maybe he's catching up on sleep. Look, Jason A-Team's doing the same. Yeah, mesmerized. Let's go. Zander had a purpose before subscribers had an opinion. All right, Wayne, you're done. I love you, Wayne, but you're gone. All right. Wayne, you're done. Yeah, Wayne's sleeping good. He's got like that. You know what I'm so mad I didn't see? Because I would have bought one in a heartbeat. Somebody down at the parade was selling like foam Lombardi trophies. Foam Lombardi. I would have bought a foam Lombardi trophy faster than I can blink. All right. I would have put it right on my stoop back there. It would have been so great. I wish I did that. I didn't even see the guy though. All right. I wish I had that. All right. Let's go 2 shuffles again. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. Start. By the way, for all who are not at the parade, you got to come to the next parade. 2, 1. Elizabeth Hopkins. Here we go. Elizabeth Hopkins, are you here? Kirk says, Zander, do you own any Jordans? If you do, what are your favorite? I own a bunch of Jordans, but not enough. The Jordan 1s have always been my favorite. I got a really cool pair I'd like to show you, actually. They're like tan. They're like a tan pair. I don't know what they're called. And then I have they're low top ones. And then I have a high top pair of ones, the green ones, which I don't love. I beat them to shit though, so it's tough to. 11s are sick. I don't know if I wear them well, Andrew. You know, I'm a white dude. I got to be able to pull off Jordans well. You know, 11s are sick. They are sick. The 4s are sick too. You know why I like Jordans now, though? You guys will relate to this. You know why I like Jordans now? I like Jordans because I can Kango match to them. I can Kango match the Jordans. That's why I like Jordans. So I'm trying to Kango match my Jordans to my Kangos. I can pull them off, Brian, but I do hear you. Devin, if you're not there next time, bro, Jason A-Team, where were you? Brian Fleming, why were you not at the parade? Philly Dom, why were you not at the parade? Yeah, Kangos and Jays. Now we're talking, Andrew. Now we're fucking talking, baby. Now we're talking. Yeah, Kirk, you know what the Jordans I want, though, right now? It's the ones that, what's his name makes? Gail Saunders from Eagle Sessions. So he does, bro, these. He custom painted these, though. So these aren't like Jordans. Bro, I want these so bad. Oh, Brian, you were down there? Dakota, I'm doing a legend giveaway tomorrow. Legend giveaway tomorrow. Alfredo, here he is. Look at Alfredo, who was just gifted a membership, and he's coming talking heavy. Zander, I want my apology. Bro, I don't give a fuck what you want, Alfredo. I will read your comment, and then I will decide whether you earned an apology or not. But I'm leaning toward no, because why the fuck would I apologize? Zander, I want my apology. I said we would blow out the Chiefs 55-35. Well, you were wrong. It was 40-6. I said Hurts wouldn't have over 70 rushing yards. And I said we would have 4 takeaways, and we had 3. Alfredo, you bent the goalpost so fucking far. Not one of your predictions was right. Not one of them was right. You just said they were close. What, do you want a fucking cookie for being close? Criminy. Criminy. Alfredo, I love you. No apology for you. That's a no apology. Elizabeth Hopkins is out. Goodbye, Elizabeth. Yeah, take the cookie, because that's all you're fucking getting. All you're getting is a cookie. Tops. In fact, I don't think I will rescind the cookie, and I'll give you a 99-cent coupon to Wawa. So maybe you can get like a taquito or something that's on the burner, or like a hot dog. Or maybe like a Wawa pretzel. Not even like a good Philly soft pretzel, like a Wawa pretzel. That's what you're getting, a 99-cent voucher to Wawa. You can go in there and get a taquito. Get one of those taquitos that are on the spinner at the front. And they look like they shouldn't even be served food. They look like they shouldn't even. Now, Sue, you don't miss Wawa. Wawa has gone downhill. And I don't care who's going to get mad at me for saying this. I used to eat Wawa like it was my job growing up here. I used to eat Wawa. It's not the same anymore. You get an Italian from Wawa, it's not that good. Nah, bro. Wawa's going downhill. Wawa's going downhill. All right, here we go. Confirm. One shuffle for Jalen Hurts. Super Bowl MVP. Start. Buc-ee's destroys Wawa. Yeah, no, there is. Yeah, they do. 4, 3, 2, 1. Josh B. Let's go, Josh. Yeah, baby. That's a great winner. That is a great freaking winner. Josh B's in here. I know he is because he was just in here. I just read his comment about 10 seconds ago. Where is he? There he is. Take the cookie. That's right. Take the cookie. How about you, Josh? Take the jersey. All right, all right. All right, Josh B. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Josh B., the XL will work for you. No? Will the XL work for you? And I think, is Josh B a legend member too? Let me check. Let me check on that. Josh B, are you a legend member? I thought you were. Medium large? I could probably get you a medium large, honestly. I could probably get you a medium large. One of our members shows up on here. It's funny. You are a legend member. I thought you were. One of our legend members. I'm on our member list right now. Somebody shows up as this channel has been deleted. Who's been deleted? Who is a legend member that deleted their channel? That's fucked up. How do you delete your channel as a legend member? Who the fuck deleted their channel? Josh B, thank you, man. Josh, you're winning a Super Bowl jersey. It's a Saquon Barkley. I hope you like it. All right. It's 2-6, and he's got the Super Bowl patch on there. No, it wasn't you, Eagle Nest. You're still on there. If you change your name, nothing happens. No, Josh, it doesn't go through if it's deleted. No. So they're going to expire. They will expire. They will expire. I would imagine they will expire. Super Bowl patch. Super Bowl patch is in there. The Super Bowl patch. Sue! Is that an upgrade? Sue! Thank you, Sue! Sue is the... Kirsten, I love you. Catherine, I love you. All the other great females that we have on our chat, I love you. You are not the queen of the JAKIB chat, though. It's Sue. Sue has been on JAKIB the longest, at least from all the ones I've seen. Sue has been here. She's been chatting in. She has taken a lot of shit from Big Sills about dumbass red bottoms. I don't know why he holds that over you, Sue. Sue, you got to stop taking shit from Sills. You know what? Sue, I might have to defend you to Sills. I might have to come at Sills. Say, yo, you mess with Sue, you mess with me. You mess with Sue, you mess with me. Yeah, with the dumbass red bomb. I don't even know what Cilio is talking about. Talking about dumbass red bombs. Sue, thank you so much. I do appreciate it, man. I do appreciate it. Well, not man. You're not a man, but you know what I mean. That's what I say. Sue, thank you so much. Upgraded to a legend. We're doing a legend giveaway tomorrow, okay? Yeah, there you go. The community will unite. You mess with Sue, you mess with all of us. Yes. Yes. All right. Did anybody pick up on the deleted member? Anybody pick up on the deleted member? Anybody pick up on our deleted member? Who the fuck deletes their legend membership? John Jackson wants a wrench. John, that's the first time I've ever seen you in the chat. No, you're not a member. You've been a member for years. You're not even a member. You're not even a member. You're not even a member, John. What are you talking? You're lying to me. You can't lie to me, fool. I pity a fool. What's that? I pity the fool. Everybody might be losing their wrench, all right? NJ Fishing, your wrench might be gone when you wake up. Jeff Bone, your wrench might be gone when you wake up. Sue, I love you. I just gave you props. Your wrench might be gone when you wake up. I'm taking all my wrenches back. Twiz, you're done. Although, Twiz, you're the only one who seems to. No, not everybody. No, that's not true. You're not the only one, but Twiz does vouch for the JAKIB rules. I love Twizwa. Even though Twiz loves giving shit. Twiz loves giving shit. A wrench comes with great with a wrench comes great responsibility. You know, I never really thought about that. When I first started taking over and people were calling for wrenches, we had no wrenches. And I'm like, that was kind of the start when we started to build the community a little bit better, you know? And I'm like, all right, you get a wrench, you get a wrench, you get a wrench. One guy DM me, he's like, you took my wrench. I'm like, bro, don't take it personal. I was taking everybody's wrench. All right, John. Look, John, I'm not going to crush you for not being a member. I do appreciate you listening, bro. All right? I do appreciate you listening, man. Sills has me rolling, bro. I'll rewatch sometimes, John. I'll rewatch me and Sills, and I'll crack up. I'll crack up at Cilio and I segments. All right, who wants to see some pictures? Who wants to see some pictures from Josh B? Congrats on your win, brother. I'm going to DM you, all right, man? I'm going to DM you. I don't have much information to exchange with you because I already got it, but I love you, Josh B. Thank you for all your support, brother. You're a great guy, and I appreciate you, and congrats on winning. And awesome that the Super Bowl Eagles are Super Bowl champion. I still can't get over it, yo. All right? I still can't get over it. Here's me and Caleb. There's me and Caleb. There's me and Akbar to Star and Flexing. Let me pull these up. Let me pull these up. All right, I want to show you guys. This Zander time might take a little bit because I do want to show you some of these pictures. So if you're interested in this, keep it locked in. If you're not, then you can leave. I don't really give a shit. All right, I do not give a shit if you don't. Here we go. There's me and Akbar. Ready? Here's me, Akbar, and Flexing the Steppin' right there. Akbar's in the middle. Flexing and Steppin's got the green puffy coat on your left side, and that's obviously me on the right. All right? There's me and Akbar and Flexing. Great photo of us. All right? Great photo of us. I got a lot of great pictures with Akbar. Look. Here's another great picture of me and Akbar. That's us in the lot after we loaded up the car. That's a cool photo, right? And then I also got these pictures of me and Akbar where we're standing up on the stage together. Great pic. All right. Here's me and a member. I'll show you guys because if I share them all, it's going to take me 10 years. There's me, Callie Baby, and Mike Berghorst, and Callie Baby's daughter. Sick picture. There's Callie Baby and Mike Berghorst. Two of our great members here. And there's me on the left. Or I guess it would be your right, left for you, right for me. I showed you guys me and Annie behind the scenes. All right, there's Annie and I behind the scenes, which is great. Annie all jacked up to talk to me. Look at how excited Annie was to talk to me. Oh, Annie. I know, Annie. You love talking to me. Here's a great photo of me and my beautiful sister. All right, look how cool that picture is. Look at her looking at me smiling. All right, that's a cool moment, man. That's a cool moment for me right there. That's a cool moment right there. So that was a great picture. Here's me and Flexing on the air. We had Flexing on the mic. No, that's not Special K, double M. That's Isabel. That's Isabel. All right, that's Isabel. Here's me and my dad. All right, me and my dad before we went on air. You can see the big crowd behind us. Another cool picture. Another cool-ass picture. All right. I thought this picture of City Hall in the morning was awesome. 7:30 a.m. I took this picture. See if I can get it to focus. I want it focus. Great picture of City Hall. Not really loaded, not really focusing, but great picture there. Here's the city at 5:12 after I started to unload. I'm like, let me take a picture. 5:12 from City Hall. You can see the time at the top. 5:12. All right. Here's a picture of me and my dad on air up on the stage. All right. Another cool picture. All right. Pretty sick. Here's all three of us, guys. Now, this is a family moment, but all three of us. So that's us on set, right? There's my beautiful sister, Isabel, with my dad and me. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool, man. That's pretty cool that we're in the middle of Philly during a Super Bowl parade, and I got my family next to me as we broadcast live, you know, to the over 2,000 who are watching concurrently on all the JAKIB platforms. Cool moment. Cool moment. One I'll remember forever. There's me and Akbar on the mic. Akbar, you can see that, bro. There's you on the mic. All right. Great picture there. What else do I got? Here's a selfie of Akbar, my dad, and me. Pretty sick right there. Here's me on 6ABC. Did anybody miss this? Let me turn it up. So that was me on 6ABC. That was pretty cool. There's me and Arthur Humler. Love that picture with Arthur Humler. I'll send you it, Akbar. I'll send you the picture. There's me and Arthur Humler. Me and Caleb, I showed you that. Caleb was great. All right. I like the guy who gave me the big hug, too. He was fucking cool. Where's that guy? This guy. This guy was awesome, dude. Look at this hug. Guy gave me the greatest hug ever. He grabbed onto me. He was all drunk, dude. He was drunk as shit. He was drunk as shit, but he was so cool. He was so cool. So I got a bunch of good photos, man. It was really cool. It was just a cool day. Cool thing to experience. A cool thing to be out there, man, and just kind of taking it all in, man. Taking it all in. Taking in the people who were there to, to see us, the people, the fans who were just there for the team and the city. Taking in the city from that angle. I love this city, man. I know this city has its problems, but it's a great place. It's a great place. It really is. And the people are great people. They really are. They're great people. They are great people. Did anybody see me on 6ABC? Did anybody see me on 6ABC? Anybody see me on 6ABC? What other pictures I got to show you guys? Wait, so if you guys don't follow me on social media, you really should. On Twitter and Instagram. Who follows me on Twitter and Instagram? Because I put up a bunch of stuff on Twitter and Instagram for people to see. I put up a lot of stuff for people to see on Twitter and Instagram. I did like a whole thread of photos yesterday. Look at it. Look at us leading an Eagles chant. Look at this. That's pretty cool, right? Look, this is when I saw Flexen and Slagger. Look at Flex. That's Flexen and Slagger right up front down there. So that was me seeing them. That was pretty cool. That was pretty freaking cool. Here's a picture. Flexen took this picture of me. Look, up on the stage. Got the JAKIB sign next to me. Pretty cool picture. And then there's me again up top on the stage. Trying to take it all in, man. Taking it all in. Taking it all in. Really cool moment. Really cool year, man. Really cool for everybody. I appreciated it. There you go, Cody. Cody said, I told my wife, I said, that's Zander the legend. I don't know why it won't let me bring up a comment right now. There we go. Zander the legend. I appreciate it, man. Did I national news? Where was I on national news? I thought 6ABC is local news, but that was cool. Was I on national news too? Yo, Zeal, don't be a fucking weirdo, Zeal. God dang. Why are dudes weirdos? Like, why you got to be a weirdo? Why you got to be a weirdo, Zeal? I know, Zeal. You're a weird guy. I know. It's just your nature to be a weird ass. No, but you're going to be respectful. You can be weird, Zeal, but if you're going to be in this chat talking about my family, you're going to be respectful. All right? You're going to be respectful. It's not hard to be respectful. Yeah, it's like you would think it would be fine, but I mean, this is what, a lot of times we talk about on this show where I tell all you guys, yo, relax with all your porn brains and all that bullshit. And you can see it comes out. You can see it comes out. A female goes on the screen and you guys can't handle. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on, dog. All right, that was a fun Zander time. I did want to show you guys those pictures, though. They were great pictures. We had to look the Nolan Smith. Watch Nolan Smith negotiate the champagne. Look. He's giving him champagne for the kid. For the kid. He handed him a bottle of champagne for the kid. Just give me the kid back, man. Just give me the kid back. Hello, everybody. Zander, Krause here with JAKIB Sports. We're up here on the This is us right after the parade. Ended out, and what a day it was. I want to apologize when I checked off the air. Our internet was abruptly pulled, so we ended. But amazing coverage, an amazing day in the city. You can see the cleanup has already started. The coverage was phenomenal. The parade was phenomenal. What a beautiful day in the city. What a beautiful day for these people who live in this city, who are fans of this football team. The love in the air. Everything was just amazing. This city is beautiful, and this is it at its best on a day like today. So we really enjoyed it. If you tuned in on JAKIB's coverage, I can't thank you enough. I met so many of my great people today coming up, and here's another one now, Cheesesteak Head coming up. So I love all you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Zander, crap. Cool, man. It was cool. It was cool. I'm telling you, man. I've been thinking about the day since it ended. So really awesome. Really freaking awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you all. Congrats to Josh B, who won our Super Bowl jersey today. All right, Saquon Barkley, Super Bowl patch on there. All right, you can see the Super Bowl patch. It's that midnight green. All right, that's what they won the Super Bowl in. Yeah, Cheesesteak Head walked up to me at the end. That was funny. I was filming a video telling people about the people I met, and then Cheesesteak Head walks up to me in the background. It was so fitting. It was so fitting. But yeah, so great day. Great day. Great week on JAKIB last week. We're gonna have a great off season, obviously, as we we'll do the draft thing. I'm hoping maybe I can go to the draft. I think that would be pretty cool. I'd like to go to the draft. And the other thing I want to do is, I know obviously on the parade's a day that will entice many people to go to the city, but I really want to go. I want to do more remotes. Like I want to do more stuff where I can meet you guys. I want to do more of that stuff. So I don't know what we can organize. Maybe we'll organize something in the off season. I know a lot of you guys aren't local, but for the people who are local, I would love to get together. I'd love to do a remote broadcast and stuff. NJ, that's not going to post that link. Can you email me that link? I'll look at it. All right. Yeah, that would be cool, Flexing. I might have to do Isabel on the street interviews next year, bro, at the games. We're really just getting started. I know JAKIB's been around for 4 or 5 years now, but we're just getting started, man. I just got my hands on this thing in terms of what I want, and we're going to have so much awesome coverage in the next year. Like next season, going to look way different. Way different. All right, we're going to have pregame show, postgame show. We're going to have game day live streams. I'm going to have Krause doing play-by-play for the game. You guys love his play-by-play voice, one of the best ever. We're going to have play-by-play on the channel. I'm going to have people down at the tailgates on all the home games. So we're going to have a boatload of stuff, all right? A boatload of stuff. Kirk says, what about upping the quality to 4K? Brother, I'll try. I need better cameras, Kirk. I'll get there, man. I'll get there. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got a lot of money to spend, Kirk. It's really what it boils down to. It's what it boils down to. Yeah, I told you, Kirk, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't go away. But, man, I would improve a lot of stuff. John says, how do I become a member? Yo, John, there should be a link in the description down below, brother. If you look in the description of the video, yeah, Kirsten, we're going to do another interview this week like we did, where we stand up. I'm going to do another one of those. John, if you go to the link in the description, you can see there's like the second or third line, support the channel and enter our giveaways. That link should bring you to the membership page, okay? That should bring you to the membership page. Yeah, Bo, that's what I don't think people understand. 6ABC doesn't even stream in 4K. They weren't at the parade. I know that. But 6ABC did hook me up with internet after Starlink didn't work. All right. So we'll see about that. I'm getting text. Why am I getting text? I'm getting text from people I don't want text from. I don't want text from these people, yet I'm getting text. All right, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But keep it locked right here because JAKIB Sports is only getting better. All right. And it's all made possible by you guys. I tell you that all the time. That's the truth. All right. That's the truth. So thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Sue upgraded their membership. Sue, I love you. I appreciate you. Kirk became a member. Thank you, Kirk. Joey D became a member. Thank you, Joey D. Tony Del Vecchio. Thank you, Tony. Rico Mart. Thank you, Rico. Eagle Nest gifted 5. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it, bro. Kenny Sprague gifted 1. Appreciate it, Kenny Sprague. Vulnerable Vitality with the super chats. Thank you, bro. T-Bone with the super chats. Thank you. And Dank Bird Gang. Thank you so much. Everybody. All right. Everybody. And you guys all have my permission to give some shit to Brian Pumper for this atrocious super chat that he tried to tell me about what I think about quarterbacks. This motherfucker's been telling me all damn year. All right. All year. About why Jalen Hurts stinks and why he couldn't do it and why we need a new quarterback. And here we are. Parade on Broad Street. Jalen's carrying the Lombardi trophy through the city of brotherly love, and he's a Super Bowl MVP. All right, so give Brian Pumper some shit and some extra shit in the chat today. All right, thank you all. See you next time, everybody.
You've been listening to Birds 365, the destination for the passionate Eagles football fan who bleeds green. If it's Eagles football, we're talking about it. Debate inside the locker room and guests that are some of the greatest football minds from around the region. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on social media at JAKIB Sports. See you next time on Birds 365.